and welcome back to Crime and Sports. Yay, indeed, Jimmy. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week.
Yeah.
You've chosen, if this is your first episode, you have chosen a doozy, and you've chosen correctly, so stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would like to thank everyone for their iTunes reviews this week. Guys, it's huge. How big is it, Jimmy?
It's bananas.
It's huge, and it's what we need. We crave the iTunes
and they're
reviews.
growing.
They're growing. Thank you, guys. And it's not just because we want to hear nice things said about ourselves.
Right.
Just give us 5 stars. You can say, following directions, these guys are assholes. We don't care.
Right.
But it helps us out on the business end so much to get the 5 stars and
Really,
just the reviews. It
the
really
ones
does.
saying
so
these guys are assholes are my favorites.
They are, because they're usually like, they're assholes and I love them.
Right.
So we're fine with that.
Right.
We love it. Thank you guys so much for doing that for us. If that's not enough for you guys, if you need to show your love deeper and harder than that, you can get on patreon.com/crime and sports, and you can drop us a donation there. And those are, I can't even tell you how much those are appreciated. Also, too, if you want to make a one-time donation, you can go to PayPal. Our PayPal is crimeandsports@gmail.com. You can do that. But if you don't want to do any of that, you should do the iTunes reviews at least. But if you don't want to do any of that, you just sit back and check out this crazy-ass story that we have for you.
But please. Help me get James some health insurance.
That would be nice.
I'd really enjoy.
I'd like to not drop dead. And if you guys like the show, you should probably care about my well-being because Jimmy's not doing the stagger shit at all. No, he's got other shit to do. He's got a wife and everything else.
Help me nickname James Welchek. I want James Welchek Pietragallo.
That would be excellent.
Now welcome to the stage, James Welchek Pietragallo.
Hey, that's me, everybody.
James Blue Cross Blue Shield Pietragallo.
Blue Cross, let's not get crazy. Blue Cross Blue Shield here. Come on, I'm looking for some basic coverage here. Let's not go nuts.
Just help me.
I don't need a copay that I can afford or anything like that. It's okay. Also, too, would love to thank Dan Cummins for coming on the show last week.
So fun.
Hope you guys enjoyed him. Well, honestly, we're not big on guests, and we know a lot of comics and things like that, but we don't do guests. We just don't. We have going on, we think, is a dynamic that we don't really want to mess with and have people interfere with. But Dan is a friend of ours. Dan, we love his podcast. And
he's so supportive. He's
so
nice.
supportive. And we were doing shows with him all weekend, and he fit in just so perfectly with us that we had to have him on.
Well, he's listened to every show, too.
Yeah, and he's so funny anyway. So thank you guys thanks, Dan. Thank you to Dan, actually. Never mind you guys. You should be happy thanking Dan.
You're welcome for us bringing you Dan Cummins.
Definitely. You should listen to his podcast, his Time Suck podcast, because it's really funny. And if you haven't listened to it, we were on there last week talking about Caligula.
Crazy. What a story.
It's an insane story. And also, too, Trevor Berbick on ours last week was wild. How crazy.
Wow.
Do you know that happened? Any of that stuff?
None of it. And the amount of tweets with the YouTube video of
Larry
Holmes jumping cars is
amazing.
Bananas. That's so crazy.
To see a 6'5", 250-pound trained fighter just run up on cars and leap off of someone like it's the top rope is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And you described it, and I was like, I'd like to see that. And then Dan, lost his shit. He's like, I want to see that. And I was like, I actually do, too, now. Much more.
To see that. Yeah, and it was just how I described it, right? He just leaps off.
It's crazy. He left, feet first, too. The two-footed, an 8-year-old jumps off the couch.
He was doing, a Coco Beware top rope drop kick. That's a very deep 80s wrestling reference for you guys. But that's what he was doing. I don't know what the hell was going on with him, but not that. Like I said last week, you've pissed a boxer off when he starts feet first kicking you, jumping off of shit.
2 feet.
You have pissed him off.
2 feet.
He can't. His brain can't process. I'm mad. Throw a punch. He's like, I just hit him with the first thing I can. My leg's longer than my arm. Pal.
And it's a 2-foot kick. He jumps and sacrifices everything he's got, his whole body. He throws 2 feet at the man.
It's all Jenny from Jacksonville, everybody. If anybody, you have any problems out there, your husband, your wife, anything like that, they come down on you. If you're younger, your parents, just say, look, Jenny from Jacksonville fucked me all up, and I don't know what to do. It's not my fault.
My wife told a lie, and this is what happened. I can't believe you said that. My wife told a lie.
That was wild. But our athlete tonight, notice I'm saying athlete. I'm not using a pronoun on this because it's a woman. We have a woman tonight. Surprise.
Number 2.
It's our second woman. Actually, you could kind of count Craig Titus's girlfriend there, and Annette Johnson also.
True.
I think you could put her in the mix, but. If not, this is our second official woman. And we've had a lot of people ask, why don't you do women?
Yeah.
Why don't you do more women? Women ask us all the time. That's the funny part. They want to see women criminals because you don't fuck up as much. That's why.
True.
It's plain and simple. Yeah. Look at athletes. First of all, most of the athletes are male, just in numbers game.
Just right.
And then most of them are they're more aggressive. They're different. Female athletes don't do shit like this. They really don't. Most of the time, female athletes like they've had their shit together their whole life to be a good athlete and have it all together.
And it, not just that, but the female athlete, like in terms of like WNBA, when I see them arrested, it's for DUI or smacking their girlfriend.
It's nothing crazy.
It's nothing like
it's
this.
Never
no.
wild, murderous tales of crazy, which is what we have tonight. A crazy tale. This is wild, and we're delving into several new things tonight. So bear with us on this at all times, because we're going to go to Australia. And it's the whole thing is nuts. Let's do it.
Fascinated with
this
Australia.
This is a wild story. We're going to talk about Keli Lane.
Okay.
Keli Lane. Yes, she's a young lady from Australia. She's born in Manly, Australia, and that's just like it sounds, Manly, Australia. It's near Sydney. It's basically a suburb of Sydney. It's an affluent little beach town. It's like Manhattan Beach, basically, is what she grew up in, if you want to compare it to something like that. Yeah, it's a surfing, kind of beachy, upscale, very, very kind of affluent, wealthy town. She's born March 25th, 1975. Let's see. I'm going to have to avoid a couple things here tonight. I'm going to have to avoid trying to give her special treatment. Because that's what I do, because it's a weird thing.
You're a gentleman. That's why.
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I want to give a lady the benefit of the doubt. I know this isn't, people are going to say that's sexist, but it's just a thing that's in your brain where we think men are more awful than women when it comes to shit. We do. We just think, well, he's a scumbag and he's awful, and, she's probably more honest. This is not the case.
There's no difference between Eileen Wuornos and Ted Bundy. No difference.
And there's a lot of things where we're going to draw parallels. This is just, we're going to treat her just like a male athlete. That's all. It's the only way we can do this and not sound like assholes,
just
basically. We're going to have to just treat her like everybody else. Like when, a male athlete goes out and impregnates 7 people, we're like, you asshole, put your goddamn dick back in your pants. When someone does the similar thing on a female side, we're going to have to, put your uterus back in your, uterus sleeve.
Put your piss flaps away.
Put your piss flaps away. So Kelly's born into an accomplished family.
Yeah.
Very upscale. Very athletic family also. She's raised, like I said, in Manly near Sydney and the beach. It's a huge beach town for surfing. It's like a famous area for surfing. It's a very expensive area. Okay. It's ranked Australia's 25th most expensive suburb. So it's very affluent.
I mean, how many suburbs are in Australia?
Probably more than 25. It's a lot.
There has to be. There's at least 25.
Sydney's a huge city. There's tons of cities all around it, and this is a very affluent one.
Okay, I'm just thinking in terms of like in LA. There's a lot of suburbs, but that's one of the largest cities in America.
Even if you were the top 25th, if you're the 25th most expensive suburb in LA, that'd still be very expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to think of how many big cities are in Australia too. You've got Brisbane, Sydney, and
Melbourne,
everything else.
Yeah, Sydney. We don't know shit. Perth.
I know 3.
Perth.
There's another one.
That comes up later in the story, or else I wouldn't have pulled that out of my ass. Trust me.
All right.
Trust me on that.
I don't know a lot about Australia, but what I do know about, I'm fucking fascinated with.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too. We're going to fuck up a lot of things about Australia. We're going to screw up tons of stuff. We're going to be wrong about things, but we're going to try. If you know what? We're on the other. We're a day behind you guys. We don't know, okay? We're trying our best here. Yeah. I can do only so much from Phoenix, Arizona to find out about Australia. I'm not going to go there because Patreon doesn't make that much. Let's put it that way. Her father is a famous guy. This is her silver-haired, middle-aged white man, by the way, the father. Oh, God, this guy, Robert Lane, his name is. Silver-haired, middle-aged white man. Usually the father's not the silver-haired, middle-aged white man. It's only in a few cases that we've had Art Schleister, a couple guys like that, but most of the time it's not. He's known as Moose. That's his nickname.
That's her dad's nickname.
That's her dad's nickname. He's a big guy. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Very famous in the area.
Does she call him Moose or does she call him Dad?
She probably calls him Dad.
I'll bet she calls him Moose.
From recorded phone conversations, I know she calls him Dad because, surprise, she's under serious investigation later and will be recorded on all of her phone calls. He's very famous, huge in the area. He's a pioneer of the Australian surf scene.
Okay.
He's one of these guys. He's very much like a Jack Roland Murphy was, which we covered, I think, episode 20-something, episode 19, something like that. Square Broads and Floating Bodies, I think was the name of it. This is the type of, he's like the Australian version of that. In the early 1960s, he and Glenn Ritchie and Nipper Williams, that's a hell of a name, Nipper Williams, they were known as the Bower Boys. Okay. They were famous because they surfed near the reef break at the Ferry Bower.
Oh, okay.
So they're the Bower Boys.
I'm sitting there. I'm on edge waiting for where the fuck is the word Bower? Why do they get called that?
That's it. No, I was like, did they forget the Y? Are they the Bowery Boys? I don't know what happened here. So in 1963, Robert actually comes in third at the inaugural Australian Championships of surfing at Bondi Beach. So that's what I mean. He's that much of a pioneer of the whole thing that he's at the first championship. Not only that, he places.
Yeah.
Not too
and
shabby.
Bondi's beautiful. That's a major destination for people. It's one of the most crowded, popular beaches.
I think it's the
I do know that.
19th most expensive suburb, and I have no idea if that's the truth or not. But Jimmie looked at me like, how the fuck did you know that?
I was blown away. I was shocked.
You were shocked. I should have just
just
went with it. Nobody would have checked.
No,
not one of you would have checked.
Even people in Australia would be like, that's a fascinating information fact.
That's amazing. Yeah, they're really doing that research.
Jason's really digging in.
That's not bad. After surfing, he was a rugby player now. So now he's not only a big professional surfer and big famous guy for that, now he's going to be a rugby player and make himself even more of an icon to everybody.
And this is Moose.
This is the Moose.
Okay.
This is the Moose. He's a rugby player for Manly, where they're from. He's known. They're known as the Marlins. That's the team nickname, the Manly Marlins. I hope they do better than the Florida Marlins. The team has been around since 1906. This is not a new thing. No. Rugby there is just as established as sports are.
They love it.
They love it. Absolutely.
Holy shit, do
they
seriously
love it. And I don't know the difference between rugby and Australian rules football, which look exactly the same to me. It's the same stupid-looking fucking lopsided-ass ball that looks like a jug of milk that someone's carrying under their arm while a bunch of white guys try to tackle each other. Where's your black people? Where's your fucking black people? You want me to respect your sport? You get some fucking black people in there. I'm sorry, because I know for a fact that's not the best you can do. I know it. Because guess what? If we took some of our guys from the NBA and we trained them for fucking 5 minutes to play rugby, they would crush all of you. Crush you.
Get those indigenous guys that make that amazing art. And get those guys to play, because I bet they're playing better than you.
LeBron James would just leap over you. You couldn't tackle him. He'd just be bounding you fucking people. 5'10" Australian guys, like, I don't know what happened. It's ridiculous.
Bounce off of your tiny white heads.
But you love rugby, and we'll respect your love of rugby, and we'll try to.
Really do.
We talked about rugby in Mark Session episode, and I still know very little about it. As just like then, I know there's a scrum, which sounds like a taint, and that's about all I got.
I get a lot of shit, though.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
I get a lot of shit. Whenever we cover anything, I get a lot of shit from people sending me that's like trying to explain to me the rules of rugby, and I really want to know. I'm being honest. I want to know.
I tried my best, and I think I dipped about as deep as I need to in it.
You know, maybe next time, maybe I'm going to learn it all, and then the next time we cover one, because we're going to, it's going to happen.
Tell me all about rugby.
When you bring something up, I'll be like, you know what? That's an interesting question, James.
That's true.
I happen to know that.
That's the 19th most wealthy suburb. Exactly. So he plays in the late 60s for Manly. He would later coach the team in the late 70s. I mean, he's even the coach. Like, he's hardcore, like, famous and respected.
Yeah.
He's very respected. Then he would take some time off when he joins the police force.
What?
The Manly police force. He becomes a detective. Okay. So now he's a police detective and a famous athlete. He's like some sort of, it's like a little kid couldn't just like watched a bunch of movies and they couldn't decide what their fantasy was. They're like, I want to be a rugby player. And then they watch like a detective movie and they're like, no, I want to be a detective. That's what he's doing.
He's Australian Shaq.
That's pretty much what he is.
Shaq did.
Except he's not just dicking off with a badge and being like, hey, I'm Shaq. But he's actually a detective, like a working cases.
Just walking up going, hey, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah, put your seatbelt on. Yeah. Whatever.
That's the best Shaq I got.
I can't get that low, and I can't make myself mumble to that extent.
And I
either.
can't like blend all the words together like that.
No. We'll work on it.
Sounds like radio static. That's his voice.
That is it is a radio staticky kind of voice. So he like I said, he takes some time off to become a police detective. Then in 86, 87, he says, I have time in my detecting, work that I'm also going to coach Manly again. So he comes back, coaches them more.
God.
So that's what I mean. This is how established they are. Everyone knows who he is.
Maybe he should have been around to raise his daughter a little better.
Well, yeah, he was a tough guy, too. That's the other thing. We're going to wish he paid more attention to her. We really are. A former player of his said that this is so funny, too. Everything from Australia, nobody will give their name in an article. It's always an anonymous quote, someone who didn't want to be named. What? Are you humble or are you just fucking scared? What is your problem over there?
They're very laid back and humble there,
I feel like it's humble.
Yeah,
I feel like they're like, I don't want to make a big fuss.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Put your goddamn name on this shit so I know who you are.
I don't want to cause a scene, but...
Nobody attributes shit. It's enough humility.
Yeah. I saw him rape Sheila. I saw him rape her.
I'm not going to say who I am, though. He says that Robert Lane was no nonsense as a coach, and he says, quote, Lane was a real old-style head kicker. He was a rough, tough copper, and that reflected in his coaching style. So he's a mean, rough, tumble dude who scares the shit out of the players, basically, because he's a cop, too. They're like, this guy's crazy. He's packing heat on the sidelines, which isn't normal.
That would be scary as a guy that's running from the police, and you know that fucking guy plays rugby. He's the police.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
Fucking scary.
Yeah, very scary. Like I said, extremely well-respected. Kelly completely in his shadow. Kelly and her brother also, both very much in his shadow, because as you can imagine, it's
a big one.
It's a big shadow. It's a big moose shadow, and they're very frightened to disappoint him. Always. That's what it is. It's the mother, Sandra, was a local water polo coach, so good athletic stock we're coming through here. She also played water polo, but at the time they got married and Kelly was born, she was a coach of water polo. Kelly very into sports from an early age.
Of course.
She took to it right away, as I'm sure she was forced to. I'm sure she really had no choice in the matter, but still, she took to it and was good at it. She's an athletic girl. You can look at her and go, ooh, she looks like an athlete. You know what I mean? She was a very good swimmer, which leads her to water polo. And you have passion for water polo. Now, let's talk about water polo for a moment. I have never cared to or watched or noticed water polo in my entire life, and I'm going to tell you something embarrassing because this is stupid, as dumb and as hacky as this is. The moment I read water polo, I immediately pictured people on horses in a pool with the horses completely submerged.
So naive.
It's so hacky, but I didn't think of it like that's what it is. That's the first visual that popped into my mind.
I thought you were just telling us that you're an idiot.
No. That was the first visual. No, that was the first visual that popped in my mind.
The dumb
literally.
joke of how their horses not drown.
But that's the visual that popped in my mind. If I just say strawberry, a strawberry pops in your head. That's what I pictured, people on horses, and I'm like, that's not how this works, at all.
You picture water polo and you're like Seabiscuit.
I know that's not how it works, so I had to look into it. Seems to be a huge deal in Australia, I got to tell you. But it's said on the one thing I read that it's very popular in Australia, Europe, United States. I'm like, it is not popular in the United States.
Here's something. I know somebody that played it in college. And he's a comedian. You know him. Dave Williamson played in college.
He seems like he'd play water polo.
And when I found out that he played water polo, I'm going to be honest, I lost a little respect for him.
It's one of those things. It's ridiculous, this
like,
sport.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
This sport is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. I know everybody loves water polo. This is coming from an ignorant moron, so whatever. But it really just looks like what would happen if you threw 14 teenagers in a pool, like a bunch of 15-year-old kids, and you just threw a volleyball in there and they had a couple nets on each end. This is the game that would break out. It's not a sport.
What it says to me is, I really like lacrosse, but I don't want to hurt anybody with that stick, and I don't like to sweat. That's what it is to me.
But I like to kick my legs and swim like crazy. That's it. Apparently,
I'm sure you've got to be athletic as fuck to do it, and Dave is probably a much better person than I am.
We know he's a better person, but that goes without saying.
But when I saw it, I was like, come on, Dave, you're better than that.
But that's what I mean. Between the two of us, we've met tons of people in America. We've known one person who's participated in this. So popular, I wouldn't really call it here in the States. The water polo Australia has 13,000 likes on Facebook, so that's a good thing. I guess they're
killing it.
I don't know. They seem to be killing more likes than I have. So, more than us. So fuck it, I guess. It's a little bit silly here. When you look up water polo on Wikipedia, by the way, it says the see also list is wonderful. See also swimming, synchronized swimming, water volleyball, and water aerobics. That tells you your sport sucks. If your see also is fucking water aerobics. That's not a sport.
See also something elderly people do so they don't die.
Exactly, so they don't get blood clots. Perfect. Jesus Christ.
That's hysterical.
Unreal. There's 4 quarters in a water polo match, which is nice. At least they don't do any goofy shit like we do. We do 7 quarters. No, none of that shit. 4 quarters. 7 players on each team. That's how it works. There's 6 in the field or water, whatever the hell you want to say. 6 people on each team trying to get the ball back and forth. It's like imagine like a giant soccer field in the water. And then there's a goalie on each side.
This is the whitest fucking sport ever.
Oh, you can't get a whiter sport than this.
Their mascots are like white privilege and savings fund.
Exactly. That's all college fund. Here's my buddy college fund. Here he is. It's insane. Trust fund
hilarious.
Over here. This is perfect. They play in a 7-foot deep pool. The whole thing. So there's no one's running. This is all swimming.
That sounds terrible.
The cardio involved in it. It's water soccer is what I've been calling it for 3 days while I've been looking at this. You need serious cardio here.
Somehow they've found a way to turn soccer whiter. That's what they've done.
They have. Yeah, they really have. They're like, the Mexicans won't intrude on this, damn it, like they did on our precious soccer.
I dare South America to get involved in this shit. Yeah. Build a pool. I dare you.
Do it. So they're playing ocean polo.
Have to get so much chlorine.
Oh, ridiculous. So they basically they take 6 people on each side. They throw the ball around like soccer, except with your hand throwing the ball until they try to throw it in a net. Okay. It's the goofiest. It looks like just a recreation sport on a Saturday. It's like badminton.
Right.
Like there should be no professional badminton. It's so stupid. It has been the men's water polo has been an Olympic sport since 1900.
Get out of here.
So this has been considered a sport for over 100 years somehow.
They play this shit in the Olympics.
In the Olympics they play this. It's insane.
I had no idea.
Neither did I. I had no clue. That's not on TV because it's just a bunch of people swimming, throwing a volleyball back and forth. There are positions in this, but the players switch a lot while playing. Okay. So it's not even real specialized. It's like Shaq would go play point guard. You know what I mean? It's like there's just no... Because it's in the water and it doesn't matter. You're just throwing a ball around. Right. Everybody looks the same and everybody's constantly has chlorine in their eyes. Right. No one even knows what's happening.
And by the way, if you're 7'2", you would kill at this game.
I would think so, yeah.
Because you can touch the fucking bottom.
Yeah, you're not allowed to touch the bottom.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you have to stay above the water. You have to stay. It's ridiculous.
Well, this game is dumb.
The goalie is allowed, as we'll see here. The goalie starts a lot of the plays. Like the goalie gets a lot of assists. They're like the rebounder. Okay. They're like a guy who throws a good outlet pass, type of thing here.
And that guy's got the worst job in the pool. He's just got to sit back there and tread water.
Well, he doesn't have to tread water because the goalie is allowed to do a couple of things here. He's allowed to touch the ball with 2 hands. Mm-hmm. That's allowed. He's allowed to punch the ball with a clenched fist, like a volleyball style. Okay. And he's allowed to touch the bottom of the pool. I don't know if it's shorter over there, so the goalies don't have to just float while they stand there, or if they can go down and push. I don't know what the deal is, but I imagine it's shorter.
Does he have floaties or something in there?
Yeah, they give him little swimmies.
Some water wings.
Yeah, his mom puts them on him and Velcros him in there.
But so he can touch the ball with 2 hands and he can punch it.
Yeah.
Nobody else gets to do that?
No one one hand, throw it.
So you've got to catch it with one hand? This is so ridiculous.
So stupid. The goalie too, I'm like, is it shallower over there? Or do they have some lost tribe of 8-foot tall goalie water polo people in Australia?
I've got so many questions.
Wandering the outback. Ridiculous. They say there's a lot of injuries in water polo.
I'm sure there is.
But mainly it's just elbows to the face. Oh. Because everything else is underwater. And so
I was going to guess pulling a hammy.
Not even. It's just elbows to the... You get once in a while, he got me a little bit. Yeah, I think my nose is bleeding. That's an injury.
Cramped up because you ate 30 minutes before you got in the pool.
Yeah. That'll happen. They actually list sunburn as an injury risk in the sport. God. They're like, injuries, elbows to the face, that, sunburn. I'm like, okay, that's not... No, sorry.
It's not a sport if one of your injuries is cured with sunblock.
That's the thing. Injury. No, done. Yes, 1956 Summer Olympics, something very interesting happened. Uh-huh. There's a semifinal match between Hungary and the Soviet Union known as the Blood on the Water match, which it sounds like what it is. During the game, the Hungarian Revolution started. During the games, the Olympic Games that year. They had a Hungarian Revolution. The USSR was, had taken over Hungary. Okay. They were part of them. Hungary's tried to have a revolution. The Russians crushed it. This is what happened while the games were happening, while the Olympic Games were going on. So during the game, a Soviet punched one of the Hungarians.
Oh, wow.
And the Hungarians in the crowd went ballistic.
I'm sure.
They wanted to kill this guy because they just put down the revolution. Now they're punching one of their water polo players. Enough shit is enough here. Hungary is up 4-0 in the game when the game is called in the final minute. So the Hungarian fans wouldn't lynch the Soviet player.
Wow.
They literally called up. They told the players, and they called it by surprise. Like, okay, go off out of the water. Yeah. Everybody fucking runs, and they're like, oh no, we wanted to kill him. Where'd he go?
That'd be the equivalent.
Passion.
Yeah,
passion.
That's the equivalent of a North Korean punching Charles Barkley.
Pretty much. Yeah, that would be a sad day for that little tiny North Korean.
That would start some stuff, I'm sure, in the stands.
Barkley would have just thrown him through a window. Yeah. They would have tossed him. So in school, he. See, I'm so used to saying he. I'm going to do this a lot. Old Kelly goes to McKellar Girls High School in Manly. It's a 7 through 12 grade school. Yeah. It's named after Australian poet Dorothea McKellar, which we have no schools here named after poets at all. They're all named after war generals or a president. Or
poets generally get their names on a rehab.
Pretty much, yeah. They get their name. Yeah. It's a good place for a poet's name, actually.
Yeah. All the heroin they've ingested.
Exactly. I think they can understand, and also too, the poetry makes these people sad, and maybe makes them want to Well, I was going to say shoot up less, but it'll probably make them want to shoot up more. This is a bad. It's just going to keep self-fulfilling. This whole thing. It's terrible. Right. This school here, the McKellar Girls High School, is ranked as the number 3 top comprehensive school in New South Wales in 2015. Okay. So that's like the third best school in the state, basically. Right. That sort of thing. Her family puts a lot of pressure on her to be great at things because they're great at things.
Yeah.
And they're also known as they're great at things, and their reputation means everything to them. This family...
Everything Moose does, he excels at.
He excels at. In this family, he does not want them disappointing him, ever. And their kids know it. They do not want to be disappointments. They don't. She is known. She does not want to be an embarrassment, basically, because that's his thing that he says to them all the time: is don't embarrass the family. Don't embarrass the family.
Was he Italian?
No, Italians wouldn't give a shit. We don't care. We'd talk shit, be like, "Hey, fucking Frankie's an asshole." You know what I mean? Like, we had a cousin that, he was like a heroin addict, and that was fine. I was like, "Hey, well, tough shit."
You guys weren't embarrassed?
I don't know. It's not our problem.
I see Italians doing that shit, just being like, "Don't embarrass me."
If it's your brother, you don't embarrass me. But that's if you're going into some place. Don't act like a jerk off in here. People
I got
know
you.
me.
But
you can't control what your brother does if he shoots heroin. That's his fucking problem. So doesn't want to be an embarrassment. Parents were big socialites. This is the problem, man. This is one thing I got to say, and this will make sense as the story goes on. This is why white trash is better. I'm going to say this right now.
Better than what?
Than these society fucks. I would rather have white trash.
Oh my God, that's the greatest lead to any argument I've ever heard.
God, white trash is better. It is, because there's no embarrassment.
The argument wasn't even in place yet.
No.
You just go, this is why white trash is better.
It is. Well, the whole rest of the show is an argument for this. So, the whole rest of the show, I'm going to tell you why why white trash is better than this, because they don't have any shame. White trash might do shit that's terrible, but they don't care. They just do it, and at least you know they did it. They don't have to hide things because they're so worried about being embarrassed. They don't give a shit if they're embarrassed. There's no shame. They don't care. They'll go to the Piggly Wiggly in their fucking pajamas with 4 kids hanging off them. They don't give a shit.
Shirtless and shoeless.
Shoeless, going and arguing about it. What you mean I can't come in with no shoes on? What's wrong with you? These people, it's way different.
This is an argument you've had in your head for the past week as you're investigating this. You're just going, this is why white trash is better.
I have. I've been going, this is the problem right here. This is the problem. I'm telling you guys. It's ridiculous, man.
I've never been more proud to be white trash.
You should, because you wouldn't do this. You would not do this. You'd eat the shit and take with chems. Now,
I'm trying to calm down.
They'd go to parties. The parents would go to all like the big parties, the big society parties, and they would always inevitably come around to bragging about their kids, bragging about how successful they are, how successful they're going to be, their bright future. They see the kids as an absolute reflection of them. So you fuck up, it's reflecting on me completely. A family friend about her life. We have a quote from a family friend who, of course, would not give his name. Obviously, you humble motherfuckers, you. Seriously, you humble bastards. He said the kids were in constant fear of Moose, of Robert. Constant fear of him, basically. He said that Keli and her brother Morgan were, quote, Keli and her brother Morgan were petrified of their dad. She was so scared of failing him, whether it be at school or sport or anything. Yeah. So it's total silver-haired middle-aged white man. Yeah. It's the same thing with guys. We're going to get the same result. When you do this to someone, you are going to get the same result. The gender does not matter at all here. Okay. That's what's amazing. It's 1992. It's her senior year of high school. That's the last grade. I don't know if you call it senior year of high school in Australia or wherever else, but last grade. Her family is impressed with her dedication. Yeah. She's doing well in school. Mm-hmm. She's doing great in sports. Mm-hmm. Water polo, she's crushing it. Okay. Top water polo player.
They're very proud.
They're very proud of everything they can see on the surface.
No embarrassment.
No embarrassment. But what they don't know is that she loves to party.
Awesome.
Loves to party. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. She's 17, and we talk about this with the athletes all the time, but when they're 17 and they love to party, put it this way, if this is a football player, he's 17. Yeah. They're very impressed with him on the field, but he loves to party. We go, oh, shit, this is not going to turn out well. This is too early for that.
Here's something. My sister loved to party in high school. Loved it. She right now is dating a porn star. And when she told me his name, I was like, I'm not even going to Google that because I don't want my phone to get a virus. And she told me she met him at a very prestigious award thing here or in Vegas. Yeah. And she told me he was getting...
Does your sister want this information?
I don't give a shit. I don't care. My sister's boyfriend was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award in pornography. He got the Michael Jackson.
That's too much much fucking. That's just too much.
That's listen, the Lifetime Achievement Award in porn is not having AIDS. That's the Lifetime Achievement Award.
You did it.
And your dick didn't fall off. Congratulations.
I'd like to congratulate Jimmie's sister for taking a cock the size of a child on a nightly basis.
My point is,
girl.
when you love to party, bad things happen.
Yes, you end up with giant-dicked guys who've had sex with thousands of people. Exactly. This is what happens here. She loves to party. She has a relationship. She has a boyfriend in high school, a kid named Aaron Tyak. They're together for 2 years total. They start dating when she's a senior in high school. 1992, while they're dating, she's partying. She gets pregnant. This is what we don't have with male athletes because they can't get. They would if they could. Trust me, they'd be knocked up left and right. They're a disaster. But she gets pregnant, and this is a problem. Obviously,
that's a problem for sports, especially water polo.
That's also a problem for her family. Yeah. She's in high school.
That's
still.
An embarrassment.
This is gonna be an embarrassment. This is a big. What do we do here? What do you think? See now that I feel. This is what I'm saying. This is why I say I have to fight to not give her like just benefit of the doubt for her gender. I'm in my head going, oh, poor young girl. Yeah. She's a poor young girl because at this point she is. She's just a 17-year-old kid who made a mistake. Things happen.
And you know what? I could even give her the benefit of the doubt and say she didn't even make the mistake. He could have said, I'm wearing a condom. Yeah. Or he could say, I got out in time. It's also on him because he's a fucking asshole for leaving it in too long.
True, but you also have to you have to mind the fort. I feel like at some point
take a little responsibility.
You have to mind the
pills.
fort here. It's something. Eat something. I don't know what you have to eat, but either way, I feel bad for her at this point. But I have to treat her just like the male athletes who can't stop making fucking kids. That's the problem. Right now, poor young girl. If you turn it off right now and go, these guys are dicks and they're saying things about a 17-year-old girl. Right. Listen for another half hour. You won't fucking say that. Okay, keep listening because you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Stick around because this gets way worse. So she has an abortion for that, which fine, good. She's 17. Don't ruin your goddamn life. Yeah, people I know. We have listeners that are conservative, whatever. Blah 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 blah. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. Yeah. I don't want some 17-year-old girl fucking up her life.
Here's the other thing. It's none of your business. She's in Australia.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
She's not even a citizen.
You have no say in anything. Yeah. Right. No matter who you put on the Supreme Court, it's not going to control this shit.
It's not your concern.
Sorry. Not your concern. No control. She continues to play water polo and party while this is going on. The boyfriend knew about the pregnancy. That's it. Nobody else.
Really?
Nobody else. Didn't tell her parents. Didn't tell shit. Had a quick abortion, in and out. Just keeps going. She keeps going out with Aaron, but she likes dudes. She's very much a male athlete in a female body. She likes which fine. I mean, women, she likes guys, that's great. Yeah. Guys like girls, do it up.
Go nuts.
Guys like guys, I don't care what you do with yourself. Go crazy.
When I was 17, I loved girls that loved guys like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she likes to party and have fun and date and do things and whatever, right? Yeah. Which is fine, except that she begins dating a married man. Also on the side. She starts seeing an older married guy, and guess what? She gets pregnant by the married guy.
Shit.
Not great at this point.
No.
Yeah, bad. Now we're talking bad times. Bad things are happening. She breaks up with Aaron over this. She ends up having another abortion, which is 2 now in 2 years, which whatever, but it's tough here. What else is she going to do in that situation? Honestly,
it's tough.
I don't blame her at all there. They break up though, so I guess that's hard on her. Now in 1994. Things are still going well for her because no one knows about her partying except her close friends. No one knows about the pregnancy, the one except the boyfriend, and nobody knows about the second one. She did that completely on her own. So come 1994, she is a member of the Balmain, and I know I'm pronouncing this wrong, and I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Don't care. The Balmain Water Polo Club. Okay. This is founded in 1884. Yeah. Some old-timey shit. Yeah. They're the Tigers. That's their mascot. The team competes in the National Water Polo League. Okay. Basically, she's on this team. It's a kind of a step below the national team, which competes for world championships, and then the Olympics are above that. Okay. So it's right. This is getting her noticed by people. She also begins dating a guy, and I'm going to mess his name up too, Duncan Gillies or Gillies. I'm going to say Gillies because all the G's are always...
Is it Gillies?
Gillies.
Oh.
I'm going to go with Gillies. Yeah, We're going to go Gillies. We have no idea anything here. So Duncan Gillies. Duncan, by the way, this is not, if you're Googling him right now, this is not Duncan Gillies, the 14th Premier of Victoria from 1886 to 1890, who died on September 12, 1903 in Melbourne. This is not him.
I promise that. So prestigious.
Did you know he was a gold miner when he started out before he got into office?
I'm blown away.
Unbelievable. But that's not this guy. Not this guy. I'm telling Jesus Christ. I'm getting deep on this shit, and I'm trying my best. Duncan was a pro rugby player. He played for Manly. Same as Dad. You want to impress Dad.
Yeah.
How about, here, look, I brought home a guy that did just what you did.
Yeah.
I'm going to force him to join the police force next year, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Make you happy. Make you get off my back. You know what I mean? She starts dating this guy. And it gets serious. I mean, right away. While she still has a life, though. She's doing her thing. She begins teaching at this point, too.
Okay.
She's teaching physical education, which is perfect for her.
That makes sense.
Yeah, at the Ravenswood School for Girls.
Okay.
Which is exactly like it sounds. What do you think of when you think of Ravenswood School for Girls?
Gray uniforms and
uniforms, a big old stone building.
Yeah, old building, and there's ravens that actually land on the building.
Absolutely, and scare the shit out of the kids. It's a kindergarten through 12th grade boarding school.
Okay.
It's exclusive, expensive,
strict.
Old. It's one of these stuffy places that old rich people send their kids to get rid of them.
Terrible.
From age kindergarten on.
Yeah.
He's too loud. Get rid of him.
It's Harry Potter minus magic.
Send him to Ravenswood. Exactly. They just stick him in there. They even they're so old and exclusive, they have a Latin motto even. That's how old and exclusive. It's Semper ad meliorn, which means always toward better things. I guess.
That's interesting. Always towards better things. Like they're just that. That's their motto for life, just like always go forward? Is that what that means?
I guess. I have no idea. I'm from upstate New York. My school also had a motto, and it was try not to say you're from here when you get arrested. That was the fucking motto in my school. So I don't know.
Don't embarrass us.
Don't embarrass us, all right? Get out there. Don't fuck up too bad. So it's a very snobby, exclusive school is what I'm getting at, basically. Just snobby and exclusive. So she's still dating Duncan at this point. They're a high-profile couple in this area. He plays for the rugby team. Her father's famous. She plays for the water polo. They're like, who they are.
She's teaching phys ed.
Yeah, they know, but she's also playing water polo at a high level.
I mean, she's the one. She's the
people know who she is. They know who they are. She's trying to get on the national team at this point with an eye on being on the first. Now they've made a deal now to make water polo an Olympic sport in 2000, and this is 1995. So she is looking, and that's in Sydney also. So that's like 7 miles from her hometown. There's going to be the Olympics in her sport starting that year. So that's obviously she wants on the goddamn team.
Definitely.
Clearly. I mean, that's her thing here. So that's what she's working toward. Get on the nationals, be on the Olympic team. Her and Duncan love sports together. Obviously, they love competitive sports. They're athletes. They're a similar type, you know. They love the lifestyle. They love to party together. Oh, they go crazy. They party. They do their thing. Parents are ecstatic because, shit, she looks good. From the outside, she's got a boyfriend that everybody likes. He's a rugby player. Good job. Nice work.
My fingers are crossed she's going to make the Olympic team because that party is crazy.
Oof,
that Olympic Village.
Let's hope she doesn't make the Olympic team then, because it'll be horrible. She'll have triplets at that point. We don't know what to happen here.
She'll have triplets, and they're all from different countries.
Different countries. That's not even different
how
dads.
How did that happen?
This one's Lithuanian. I don't know how that happened.
Was the polo pool full of jizz? How did this happen?
Oh shit. So the Jillies, Jillies and her become extremely close very fast, which is, as we see, everyone we cover, never good.
No.
That's always bad.
Yeah. Fast romance is never good.
Especially with people like this who live on the edge.
Criminals.
Criminals, basically. He said he, quote, became very attached to Kelly very quickly. That's his quote on it. So right away, he says that within just a few weeks, he began thinking about marriage. So, I mean, this is the one he's thinking. This is a girl I can, I can be with this girl. And he's a big, goofy white guy, too.
Yeah.
They're going to have big, goofy white kids that can play rugby or polo or some horse shit.
But in his defense, girls that speak English with an Australian accent, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it is.
It's so attractive.
But they all do over there. It's not like this is a unique thing. Like, ooh, that one with the accent. It's the same accent everybody else has.
Walking through the grocery store just with a heart-on constantly.
Yeah, that would be you over there. They'd have to remove you. Excuse me, sir. You're going to have to leave the fast food aisle. Sir.
I'm sorry. She asked me for my order. Leave me alone.
Sir, this is just not right. You can't do that. Sir, you have knocked over all the lean cuisines. You have to leave the frozen food aisle.
Put your boner away.
Put it away. Tuck it into your waistband, please.
Like an average guy. Everybody does it.
Now, 1995. 1995.
Yeah.
It's hard to notice this because Kelly, quote, lives in tracksuits, but she begins to put on a little weight, mainly in her stomach.
Okay.
What do you think happened there?
She didn't have an abortion this time?
But she's always wearing tracksuits. You know there's a problem when you design your wardrobe around the possibility that you may be pregnant and have to hide it. You know there's a problem with what you're doing.
So if your daughter is always dressed like Run DMC, suspect
check
pregnancy.
Her belly. Every once in a while, let's go pat her on the belly, make sure there's nothing there. Make sure that's baggy.
Pee on this stick, would you?
Hey, I'm just gonna leave it in the bathroom. You just pee on it every once in a while.
Or buy her a big fat gold rope chain so that she can commit to the
Go for it. Go for it. So in 1995, one of her students, a girl named Allison Warren, finally somebody gave their goddamn name to a quote. Thank you, Allison Warren, you wonderful person. As one of her students, she said, quote, "There wasn't much gossip about Miss Lane, but her belly grew, and so did the judging glances and snide remarks between parents. Miss Lane was obviously young, obviously pregnant, and obviously not married."
That so right there is a woman
noticing.
That threw her. So all these other quotes from humble people that don't tell their, that's a gossipy bitch. Yeah. It's just like, listen to that quote. From the
obviously not, obviously young, obviously pregnant. She could have said pregnant first. Right. She's obviously young, obviously pregnant, and obviously not married.
And what's her name? Allison. Allison is my name.
Yeah, Allison. Allison Warren. That's 2 R's. 2 R's, 1 N. Please. Unreal, man.
Gossipy bitch, I love it.
But Allison's just representative of everybody. Yeah. They were all saying the same thing. They're just like, well,
she just signed her name.
Yeah,
to it.
she was the one. Great. She's the one representing.
So
they probably went around. 20 people said the same thing. She's the only one who would give her name. They're like, well, fuck it, let's go with Allison's statement. Let's do it.
She owned up to it.
Yeah, she pretends now. Keli pretends like nobody knows. She pretends like I'm not pregnant. No one can see I'm pregnant. Who's pregnant? Me.
I party. Don't you know
I got
that? Empty
tracksuits
calories.
on. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm not fat. This is great. Tracksuits. It's all good.
Vodka gives you a beer belly.
Everyone at school is talking though. They see her every day. They watch her get bigger and bigger. And she's a little like one of her teammates and on the one team there she was playing said that she went under the water. And just swam under to do whatever, and she could see then in a bathing suit how big her stomach was. It was like, holy shit, this isn't right at all.
Yeah. And then at lunch she ordered a hamburger, no burger, just pickles and onions.
Yeah, and they're like, this is strange.
That's weird.
And ice cream, and they're like, weird. So 1995, Balmain, she's pregnant, by the way. Balmain plays in the grand final of the suburban water polo competition.
What?
Okay, her coach says she played very well in this game. Strong. He said she was just her regular old self, aggressive, strong, playing tough, strong. She attends a post-match function. You know, they're partying and, it's drinks and what a post-match deal. It's a party. She excuses herself from the nice party, though. It's a nice place. She's like, I got to go. I'm not feeling so good. So she leaves the party.
Oh, no.
And goes to the hospital to give birth to a baby girl.
Oh, my God.
Hours after playing in the final of the water polo championship.
So when she says, I'm not feeling so good when she leaves, that's her in labor. When you don't feel good when you're in labor, what she means is, I feel like I either have to take a shit or I'm about to give birth, so I'm leaving.
I think I'm giving birth considering I'm 9 months pregnant. Right. I'm going to go ahead and say
I'm 9 months pregnant. I feel like I have to take an enormous dump.
Since my water broke, I'm going to go ahead and say it's that rather than the burritos I had earlier. I'm going to say it's the pregnancy.
It's not all the pickles, onions, and ice cream.
No. So, she goes. This is why water polo is a pussy sport, by the way. Fuck it. I said it. It's a pussy sport. You fucking play it, you're a pussy. If it can be played at its highest level where no one even notices that anything's wrong hours before someone gives birth, I'm sorry, man.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I was judging it based on by the sunburn. That's what you're worried about. This woman played while she was fucking so pregnant.
Let's get a woman who's just about to give birth. I mean, just about to, hours away from birth, and let's put her on a floor in the WNBA and see how she does. Poorly.
The WNBA. That's hysterical.
This is bowling, is what this is. This is bowling. This is a recreational. This is a parlor sport.
Stupid. This is chess.
Jesus Christ. People are going to hate us for saying this, but a fucking pregnant girl played well.
And they won.
And they lost the game.
They lost.
But she played well.
She played strong.
It wasn't her fault, Jimmie. It wasn't her fault.
Strong.
Unreal. So she names Jillies as the father, which turns out he's not the father. They're still together. They're an item. She's out doing whatever she does.
So scandalous.
Not the father at all. It doesn't matter because she immediately puts the girl up for adoption legally. She legally adopts him out. Duncan has no idea. Had no idea. Duncan Jillies had no idea she was pregnant. How dumb is this guy?
What an idiot.
I mean, I know. I don't watch a lot of rugby, but you must get hit in the head quite often if you didn't notice that your girlfriend was pregnant. But this isn't the last time he won't notice something so goddamn obvious. That's how dumb this person is.
I sat through 2 pregnancies with my wife.
You noticed.
And when she said, I think I'm pregnant, I was like, I know you're pregnant.
Yeah, no, Keli just kind of, she has it like where she's like, I think I'm getting a cold.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But she's 9 months pregnant. Like, I think I might be pregnant. I don't know. I've just been doing my normal.
Not quite sure.
Going about my normal business and, that sort of thing.
I'm getting better and better at water
polo, so I hope I'm not pregnant.
I hope I'm not pregnant because I really want to go to the Olympics.
I'm really killing it right now.
So she tells no one about this at all. This is 1995. Continues to teach. Just goes back to school like nothing happened. Continues to play water polo. She makes the Australian national team that will play in the World Championships in early 96. So, I mean, she just keeps... Nothing happened. Nope, it's good. I've never seen anyone with blinders on like this. So, but everybody else stops and takes in, like, you know, they acknowledge they're fucked up. No matter how dumb we've had athletes in the past, they acknowledge her. Just keep going. No problem.
Listen, I admire her perseverance. She embraces her failure and just fucking hurdles over it.
And I don't mind. And honestly, so far she's had 2 abortions, which is her legal right. And that's fine. She didn't want to ruin her life. She's also had. She had put her next baby up for adoption. Fine.
The way you just said, she didn't want to ruin her life.
She didn't want to ruin her life? I get it. No, I get it. That's fine. That's the law, and that's great. Whatever. Do what you got to do. Yeah. And then also now she's adopted a kid out, which is great. She hasn't hurt anybody. Yeah. The kid's fine. She's done everything fine. She should stop when we say she should stop getting pregnant, people are going to be like, that's a woman's... We get that, but we're treating her like every other athlete, remember. Every other goddamn athlete. When every athlete we cover goes around sticking his dick in everything that moves and has 8 kids, we go, stop doing that. Stop. We're a goddamn condom. Stop what you're doing. And I'm going to say the same thing to her. Like I said, we're going to treat her just like everybody else.
I love it.
We're going to treat her just like Trevor Burbick. Stop getting everybody pregnant.
That's equality.
That's equality. There, exactly. So early 1996, Keli plays for the Australians in Canada at the World Championships, which is amazing. The team wins a silver medal. Yeah. She has a silver medal.
That's amazing.
With Australia on it. It's not the Olympics, but she's a national hero here at this point. Based on that, she gets a spot on the New South Wales water polo team, which I believe is a professional team. So, and she's doing great. Yeah. This is terrific. So for her, she's like, kids are not in my lifestyle right now. I can't. It's like when they're picking a team for the Olympics, they're like, well, we'll take her. I've really liked her play. I like this one with the kids. This is going to be good. She can bring them along. It'll be good for morale. No, they don't do that. They're like, let's round up the girls who don't have 3 kids and go on the tour here.
Like in a league of their own when they get that chick with the boy that just annoys everybody.
Exactly.
They don't want that.
That's exactly what is running around with the chocolate all over his face. And
Stillwell Angel.
Yeah, Stillwell Angel. No, you don't want Stillwell Angel in here.
Fuck Stillwell.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what she's trying to avoid, a Stillwell Angel situation, I believe. This is 96. She's seen a league of their own. She's like, I don't want to be that.
I don't want that.
No one liked her on that whole team.
And she constantly fucked up.
She missed
the cutoff, man. She's throwing to the wrong base.
At her.
Yeah, he's making her cry.
You know what? That's deserved. I'm sorry.
She deserved it.
You're getting paid to play the outfield. You hit the goddamn cutoff, man. I'm sorry. So that aside, cutoff man aside.
This is so funny.
This is equality, goddammit.
This is crazy.
You hit the cutoff man, lady, and you stop getting pregnant. Both of you stop it. So April 1996, Jillies buys a house, but it's in a different area than Keli. Kind of a couple suburbs over. Oh. It's a little breathing room. They're still together. They're still a hot item, even though she's getting pregnant by other people and not telling him.
Somebody needs a space.
The relationship gets a little rocky at this point because he admits to her that he had sex with one of her teammates and a good friend of hers.
Well, I mean...
That'll make you people a little mad, which the funny part here is... How did she, as like just a person, how did she not go, oh, yeah? You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah?
You know she did.
You want to talk about No, she didn't. He had no idea.
She didn't tell him yet?
She didn't say, oh, yeah? Well, I just adopted a baby out for abortion that your stupid, dumb shit ass didn't even notice that I was pregnant. Guess what? It wasn't even yours. And then leave. That's normal, I would think.
I mean, that's typical, like, angry woman behavior.
If your wife had that, arrow
my God, if she had
quiver,
that... Ace of spades. Forget it.
And anybody would. It's not even woman. It's anybody. But so
in an argument,
I'm so surprised.
Fuck you. That's a trump card.
It is. They stay together. She stays with him, and he must think that she's the most forgiving woman alive, rather than she's doing worse.
No, it's because she knows that she still has that hanging over his head, and she can throw that at him at any point, and it bombs everything.
Also, to her family likes him. This whole thing that she's doing, she doesn't want to disappoint her family. Yeah. That's why she's having. Going up for doing all of this shit, basically. So everything goes as planned. They stay together. She plays water polo. They continue the relationship. She enrolls in college. She enrolls in the Australian College of Physical Education, I think, to get her master's for teaching for after she's done being an athlete. Thinking ahead.
Yeah.
How often do our people in the middle of their athletic career go back to school to get a degree to fall back on? She's being smart. She's smarter. This is why I wanted to treat her better than everybody else, but she's way stupider.
Only person I've ever heard of doing that is Larry Fitzgerald and now Kelly.
Yeah, that's it. And Kelly. That's all. And Fitzgerald, I feel like that's PR. He's made so many millions of dollars.
PR?
He's not doing it for a career.
No, he did it to get paid by the college. You know
that's
he's
what
getting
I mean.
paid
That's
for
what
that.
I'm saying. He's not doing it for I need a fallback.
No.
You had a $100 million contract. You don't need a fallback.
And he's getting extra money from the college and a free education, and he's making mom happy.
Absolutely. I don't know what water polo pays, but anyway. So September 12th, 1996.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is another thing here. Okay, let's just jump into this. This is so crazy. It's one of these where I'm like, how do I even get into this? September 12th, 1996, Kelly goes to Auburn Hospital. This is not the first time she goes to the hospital, as we're going to find out, but let's do this part first.
Okay.
It's in Western Sydney. She gives birth to a baby girl. She's been pregnant this whole year while she's been doing all this stuff.
Wow.
And she's been pregnant this whole time. She has a 10-hour labor with this baby girl.
This is pregnancy number 4.
This is pregnancy number 4. If you're counting at home, but mark it up on the whiteboard. It's like I said, a 10-hour labor. Number 4 that she's the phantom uterus. That's
no
her.
doubt.
That would be her superhero name. Like, give her a fucking shirt. It's ridiculous. She tells no one, obviously. No one is there.
I mean, it's none of their business.
This is crazy. Nobody knows she's had 4 pregnancies.
No, and no one's there for her. She names the baby Tegan. She pulled the hospital curtain around her, everybody said. Didn't speak to anyone in the maternity ward. Wouldn't speak to the other mothers. Would just kind of stayed to herself. Was acting very weird toward everybody. She told the social worker that no one was there for her because her parents lived all the way in Perth. Okay. So she's not from around here, which is a complete lie. Yeah. And she lied about that. Social worker said that Kelly seemed happy with the baby and that she was breastfeeding. Okay. So, I mean, hey, it looks like she's breastfeeding. She looks like she wants to be a mother. Terrific, because they, have somebody check on her.
Nobody's here, so she's a little down, but
absolutely.
She's doing what moms do. We
find out later that Kelly ends up leaving the hospital long before she says she does. Now, she stays for 2 days. Basically, she claims that she left the hospital at 2 p.m. on the 14th, September 14th, which is 2 days later. Staff didn't see her after 10:30 a.m.
I really hate this part
on the
because
14th.
With so much specifics on time.
It's going bad.
I'm about to get sad.
Things are going to be very sad here very soon. That's why we make fun of all the water polo up front, because shit's about to get dark.
Though, 2 fucking days in the hospital, that really drives me bonkers about having a kid. No.
Here they kick you. They're like, once they clean the shit off the kid's head, they're like, get out.
The stitches are
Take
closed.
A hike.
Get the hell out. And it's like, I don't know anything about that thing.
Get out.
What do you want me to do?
They just hand it to you and go, leave.
What is this? He's on his own. Hello.
Your insurance isn't covering it. Take a hike. That's what we got here.
I don't know what to do. Like, it's bananas how fast they want you out of the hospital.
But in Australia, you're allowed to,
stick around, breastfeed,
feel better and learn how to be a mother, maybe. The social worker comes and talks to you. Literally here, they just throw a baby on your stomach. And they're like, all right. And they walk out.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
We'll bill you.
We'll bill you for that. Staff doesn't see her after 10:30 a.m. Okay, now she arrives at her parents' home in Sydney, which is about 45 minutes away from this hospital, at 3 p.m. Alone.
5 hours.
No baby. Gets ready to go to a wedding that night like nothing happened.
You bitch.
Gets ready like nothing happened, which is insane here. Basically, they're saying that there's no way she could have got out past people, and the only way she could have left was down the fire escape. She didn't even take the baby basket with her. She took a baby and carried it down a fire escape to escape the hospital, which is... Now she's got something that's hard to hide.
Yeah.
Like, that's not... You can't hide that in a tracksuit. That cries.
Yeah.
Fat doesn't cry.
No.
This cries. So this is...
it shits, and it pees, and it needs things.
And it's missing.
Yeah, and it's missing.
Currently, we don't know its whereabouts or her whereabouts because it's a girl. September 14th, 1996 is the same day as the hospital. She arrives at her parents' house at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
She gets ready, gets dolled up, puts makeup on, puts a dress on, and goes and meets Duncan at a wedding. Goes and meets him at a wedding.
He has
for
no
that
questions?
Night. No, what's he going to ask? She just shows up in a dress. Yeah, I'm here. She's like, okay, good. He doesn't know anything about it.
You got a sitter already? That was quick.
Doesn't know she had a baby.
Oh, he has no idea.
Nobody knows. She did this in complete privacy. God. She didn't tell anyone she was pregnant again for the 4th time. Didn't tell anyone she was pregnant and didn't tell anyone she had the baby. She told the social worker her parents were in Perth. She doesn't know anybody here.
She's a master of disguise.
She's a master of something. I don't know what it is. Bullshit is my guess here. Now, before the baby, this is what I was talking about, she went to a Ride hospital 3 times in the 2 weeks leading up to September 12th to try to convince the staff to induce her. She didn't want to miss the wedding on the 14th that she had a commitment to go to. Yeah. So she was trying to get them to induce her early. She had come in on September 11th and asked for it again, and they said no. She said she was in a lot of pain. They said no, but try coming back the next morning. She came back on the 12th, and they finally induced her. Okay. This is literally to not miss a wedding. Yeah. Because it's society. She can't miss it. Her and her boyfriend are supposed to go be seen there. Yeah. What are you going to do? Her parents are going to be there. Oh, my God. Insane, right? So, 1998, this has gone past. No, just baby's gone. Yeah. No one even knows she had it. Who knows? Keli and Duncan finally break up in 98 after he tells her that he's in love with another woman.
Mm-hmm. So that's when she threw that card out.
Yeah,
she told him.
She didn't.
She didn't tell him?
Doesn't tell him shit again. Nothing. Wow. How crazy. She just keeps it again. So 1999 comes around, and guess what? Keli's pregnant again. Again. God damn it, stop.
I'm so mad at her.
Stop it. Stop getting pregnant. Just stop now. Holy shit. This is too much. This is what I mean where I said, oh, you go poor young girl and blah, 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 blah. And to this point, I'm literally doing like a male athlete. Stop putting your dick in things. Yeah. Stop it.
Stop wrapping your veg around dicks.
Stop
making it off.
Stop making kids that are going to rob me. Yeah. And stop doing it. I can't take it anymore. So this is what she's doing. She tries to get an abortion in February of 1999 in Queensland, but is refused because she's over 25 weeks pregnant. So she can't even...
She waited too long.
She can't even get an abortion, so obviously she's freaking out. She has the child in 1999, again, hides it from everyone.
God, Jesus.
Doesn't say a word, doesn't do anything, and ends up adopting the kid out.
Number 5,
she adopts this one out. She tells a social worker that Duncan is the father, which he's not the father, which that's what she tells her. And she also tells the social worker that it's her first child.
This is my first child, my boyfriend. Balls. Yeah, I mean... Technically, it is. But she's adopting this one out, too. So, no, it's not even her first child.
This is the third one she's actually had, and the second one, whatever. So, this basically, the Department of Community Services, which is the social worker that comes around, it's a guy named John Borovnik. He realized, this is who she's telling all this to, so he starts doing paperwork for the adoption. And in that, she's looking at all the different things, and he notices that he realizes that the 1996 birth of Tegan, he can't find certain paperwork on it.
Like he can't find vaccinations and shit?
Like anything. Yeah. Records for anything. And while he's doing the 99 adoption, he's trying to get all the paperwork in order, and he's like, this is odd. I see no records relating to the adoption. I see no school records. I see nothing for this Tegan. She doesn't exist.
Right.
So he starts being a little suspicious of that. Looking into things. Yeah. He's looking into things. He's, he leads the government into looking into her also.
All right.
Because it's a government agency. Yeah. He finds out about the previous pregnancies, the previous births. And now it's like, whoa, this is not who we thought it was here. Right. She said this is her first child with her boyfriend and blah, 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 blah.
I mean, give it to the Australians. These people have hearts, man. They do. They give a shit about people.
They do. They actually do. Here, they just be like, here, take your kid. We don't care. Whatever happened to the goddamn kid. What do we care? So it's way different. So they notice that they just can't seem to find any record of Tegan anywhere, which is freaking everybody out, obviously. She says, when questioned about it, she says that she gave them to a family in Perth. Okay. She said, I adopted her out to a family in Perth.
That's not legal.
She's living in Perth.
Is it legal in Australia?
It's more legal than the other alternative for what happened to Tegan. Let's put it that way. But, so November 1999, Borovnik goes to the police about Tegan and notifies them, says, hey, I got a situation here you guys might be curious about. Chick got a kid. Funny thing, kid's gone.
This crazy broad keeps squirting out babies and none exist.
One of them isn't accounted for, so we got to find that
We're
kid.
Missing one.
Yeah. So 2000 comes along. There's there's still it's still just like, oh, who's this now? They're pulling records and stuff like that. So year 2000 comes along. Guess what? One guess, Jimmy.
It's Tegan's dead.
Nope, she's pregnant again.
Oh, my God.
She's pregnant again.
They haven't even found Tegan yet, and she's still squirting out kids.
The ink is still not dry on the adoption of the last one. She's like, I got to have another kid. So January 2001, she has a daughter. Okay. This one she keeps. Mm-hmm. We don't know the name of this daughter because they don't want to release it for obvious purposes that you'll figure out later. But, yeah, that's she has a baby, a little girl. She keeps the little girl. Okay. So that's that. She's got one kid so far out of all of this shit.
6 pregnancies.
Yes, and this is after the Olympics, which we'll talk about in a little while too. So I think she just gave up and was like, "Fuck it, I'll just have kids now." What's the difference?
She's like, clearly a baby factory. I do that really well.
I'm very fertile.
Yeah,
she's like 31. I think she figures maybe the athletic career is on the on the downswing. Actually, no, she's 26 right here. She should be in her prime.
Yeah, actually, this is baby making time.
This is also money making sports time. So 2001, the police investigation begins. Okay. This is when it starts. They start looking into all these things. February of 2001, they question Keli. Like a month after she's had her baby. Yeah. They question her. She changes her story now. Now she's telling the police that she didn't adopt her baby out to a family in Perth. She said, I was mistaken about that, which I don't know how you'd be mistaken about where you put your baby. That's a pretty, I don't know. I either left it here or there. I'm not sure. Either left it at the grocery store or on top of the car. I'm not positive. It's not your keys. You know what I mean? So she tells police she didn't adopt him out. Instead, she gave the baby to the baby's father, who is a man named Andrew Morris or Norris. It changes. It literally, she can't even give a straight story on the man's last name. So we're gonna call him Namoris because we don't know if it's Norris or Morris.
That is so terrible. So
Andrew Namoris is the mystery man, the father. She claims she met him at the Town Hall Hotel in Balmain when they were hanging out back in the day when she was with Duncan and they had a little fling and she didn't want to tell Duncan about it. Yeah. Blah blah blah. But that's whose baby it is her thing. Okay. Now 2001. She tells police that Norris just didn't want anything to do with her, and that's why, she just gave him the baby because they weren't going to be together. And she said, I got pregnant, and he said, well, go fuck yourself. Kind of a thing. That's her story about this.
There's no man on earth that does that.
Poor me, basically, is what she's saying. Well, plenty of men just run out on their responsibilities.
But none of them go, give me the baby and you go away. I'll never see you again.
And we'll talk
Nobody does that.
We're going to talk plenty about that. That's a really odd thing to do. I mean, I want the baby, but not you to take care of it.
I'm sure it's been done, but the woman's a complete fucking disaster in every aspect of her life. This one keeps shit together. She has jobs. She plays sports. She's a good person outwardly.
It's not someone you would take the baby so they don't
so
drop them or
fuck the baby up.
Sell them to a crack dealer or something. So she claims they had a brief affair while she was with Chili's. Like I said, she tells police that when she left the hospital that night, the 14th, when she left, that she left at 2:00, not like the staff says. And she said she went down to the parking lot. Actually, she called it a car park, but go fuck yourself. We don't care. And said that she gave the baby to a car park. She gave
this is a Disney movie. Like the cars are down there playing.
It's a car park.
It's a car park. It's so pretty.
So she gave the baby to...
The cars are on the swings.
They're just swinging. Yay. It's a park for cars. I see one of those big bubble things where you're pulling in and giant bubbles coming out. One of those. So nice.
Cars doing burnouts in the sandbox. It's adorable.
It is. It's cute. They get to play. Normally, cars, they don't get to play a lot. They don't get out with the other cars. You know what I mean? They're always cooped up in the garage.
So fucking stupid.
So she said she gave the baby to Andrew Namoris and his mom and his girlfriend, Mel. So she's even got a girlfriend in the mix now for this guy.
She's created so many characters.
She went down the car park, and there they were. Okay,
so she's Australian Casey Anthony.
That's it. She's Jesus. Casey Anthony is a model citizen compared to this lady. I swear to God.
Yeah, Casey only did it to one.
There's one.
I mean, allegedly,
she only did it to one here too. So far, she's the rest of them.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think Casey Anthony was probably a more honest person than her. I got to be honest with you.
Have you seen the documentary yet? The one that just came out.
Yeah.
It's so horrible.
Oh, yeah. She's a horrible person.
Her lies are so crazy that she took the police to Universal Studios and were like, I work here. She hasn't worked there in 2 fucking years. She went into the employee entrance and was waving to people and then walked down a dead-end hallway and then turned around and was like, you got me. I don't work here. What?
She did like a Seinfeld when he was taking his future in-laws to his house in the Hamptons. And they're like, no, it's just down here. And finally, he's like, fuck. All right, fine. He gets to the end of the island, and he's like, you got me. What do you want from me? He's telling him about a horse that he's got. Yeah, Prickly Pete. You're going to love him. No.
Casey Anthony's an asshole.
She is an asshole. So, anyway, during this investigation, the first thing the police are very curious to do is locate Andrew Minoris, or Namoris, or whatever you want to call him. They want to find him. That's a big deal. Obviously, that would answer all the questions, right?
It will help.
She tells police that one of her friends actually knows Andrew. Well, super easy. A woman named Lisa Andreatta, but she can't get a hold of Lisa. Lisa moved to Britain, and now she can't get a hold of her. This is in 2001, and she ends up spending Christmas. Kelly ends up spending Christmas of 2002 in the UK with Lisa. So lie.
Yeah.
Lying. Always lying.
She's like putting herself with these people now too. Like this is a lot. She's getting real deep.
How else can you do it? This is what I mean. This is when shit spins out of control. You can only lie so much to where
then you go, you're full of shit.
Yeah, to where you have to like admit to a lie to get another lie over.
Right.
You're like, okay, well, I didn't mean that part of what I said because that contradicts what I want you to believe now. So in a 2001 phone conversation, now they start recording her phone call. She's in hardcore investigation here. Kelly reveals that how scared of her father that she was, and she's just like, they're like, well, if you had a baby, why didn't you tell us? Like, what was going on? She was just the whole time she's saying, like, because you guys would stop loving me. You guys wouldn't even want me anymore. You would hate me if I did that. Dad can't handle that. He'll freak out. He'll snap, do the whole deal. It's insane, man.
He would have been a great grandfather.
He would have been, but he would have been an asshole to her about this. He totally would have said, you're an embarrassment.
Yeah.
But they'll get over that, and then they'll be a great grandfather.
When they fall in love with that baby, forget it.
That happens. You get over it. You know what? You have to bite the bullet and face the music sometimes. And she just couldn't do it because she's supposed to be perfect. Yeah. Everyone called her the golden girl. She's supposed to be perfect, and she can't handle not being perfect. Yeah. It's
sometimes the best things that you get, you have to go through some really hard shit to get there.
Yeah, I would say so. So she's scared, like I said, scared to tell the father. The mother says, quote, "You've got to be telling the absolute truth. I'm telling you because he'll know how to find out things you wouldn't believe." Talking about her father because this police investigation is going on in the same precinct that he worked in.
Oh, God.
So talk about embarrassing now. She didn't want to embarrass anybody and all that. You want to talk about embarrassing? All of your buddies, all of your cop buddies are investigating your daughter for murdering her baby. That's way worse than having a fucking out-of-wedlock grandchild. That is. I mean, you can't get any worse than that.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that.
It does not get any more embarrassing. And the father's saying she didn't do anything and kind of putting pressure on the cops like, you don't need to investigate my daughter. Like, he's very like, he believes her, and whether he believes her or not isn't really the case. He's like, hey, don't sully my name, is what it is.
Casey Anthony's dad did that shit too for a while until she said he molested her. Then he was like, look, she's fucking crazy.
Well, they were white trash, though, too. That's what I mean. White trash. See what I'm saying? She admits it. At least everyone knew she had a baby. She said that the father molested her. White trash hides. They have no shame. This, on the other hand, all sorts of shame.
But he didn't. It's a terrible part because she had to cover lie.
She got to that point.
And then she got to that point, and he was like, look, I'm out of this. I'm not defending her ever again.
Yeah. Now, on this phone call, Kelly asks her mother, quote, he's not going to hurt me or anything, is he? Like, literally, he's not going to hurt me. Like, is he going to beat me up over this? The father, which who knows if that was a part of it. We never find out if she had like an abusive upbringing or whatever, but I would imagine he gave her a smack once in a while, judging by what everybody else said.
I'm guessing there was a bruise or two once in a while.
Yeah. Now, the mother says to this, quote, he's not going to hurt you, but he's going to blow. You know that, don't you? Like, he's going to lose his shit.
Okay.
You do know you're going to have to face his wrath, but he's not going to break your neck.
There's going to be a punishment for sure.
Yeah. Now we were just saying, they raised her this way, and this is they put the pressure on her, and they put her up to this, which they did.
Yeah.
This is okay. We understand the psychology of how she got here. Okay, and it wasn't her fault how she got here, but now she's here.
Right.
This is the thing. Before you go blaming her parents for this, think Tommy Morrison's mother was a prostitute.
Yeah.
We called him a piece of shit. Yeah. He had no way of doing anything better. He grew up in trailer parks with no dad. His mother was a prostitute. Willie Mays Aikens didn't have floors. He didn't have floors, guys. The ground was his floor. They had no indoor plumbing. He didn't have electricity for most of his goddamn life.
Eddie Johnson was harvesting fucking watermelons for how many years?
He put up a goddamn basket, literally a basket outside. A milk crate to shoot hoops on. So you know what? Before we blame the parents, everybody has their own, to a certain extent. Yes, we know what causes it. But then at that point, you've got to recognize this shit. And we're going to treat her just like we treated Tommy Morrison and every other fucking idiot whose upbringing was just the perfect cocktail to cause what they did. Right. It's still their fault.
Yeah.
Because they know better.
Eventually, you got to make a decision.
Yeah, we all have free will.
Choose your own path.
We all have free will here. So 2004... You would think Keli now, she's out there in the world. People kind of know about this investigation. They're calling around. So what do you think she's going to do? Is she going to lay low for a while? Chill out?
I mean, that's the logical explanation.
You would think, just like, hey, I'm going to get my name out of the news.
I'm going to not get pregnant again.
Not get pregnant. I'm just going to stick to myself, work on me. I have a daughter that I'm going to take care of. Because this one, I'm going to, make sure they know I'm not going to kill this one. Take care
I'm going to
of
go
her.
out in public. I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to take her to see the car park and watch the cars play.
Spin around. I was going to say, watch the cars in the sandbox. It's so cute when they do that. No, you know what she does?
What?
It's time to get married.
No.
Like every other athlete, Jimmie. Male, female, gender doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. When your things are at your worst, when everything is going wrong, you must get married. It has to be.
How did she meet somebody?
I don't know. They keep this guy's identity secret through everything to protect the identity of the daughter. Basically, because I guess the daughter now took his last name and everything, so they want to keep that all separate. But it's weird because while all this is going on in a little while, the father, Moose, and Sandra are going to be taking care of the daughter, and not the husband. So it's a very strange situation. But we'll talk about this. Now, here we go. August of 2004, they're tapping all of her phones. Okay, still, because they want evidence.
Yeah,
they catch a phone conversation with her husband where she's openly talking about regrets. I regret this. And I regret, like she's doing everything but saying, I wish I didn't kill my daughter. Like everything but saying it. I thought about it, there's cops sitting there listening, like in a van with the headphones on. Yeah. They're like, she's going to fucking say it. 3 years we've been waiting. She's going to say, oh, she's got regrets. What could they possibly be? God, no, she didn't. Shit, goddamn. They had to be like years.
She has regrets. She has regrets that she had chick parm last night instead of the spaghetti. There's so many regrets.
She wouldn't get specific enough. They're sitting there in a truck with like McDonald's bags everywhere and wrappers and cups everywhere. It's like, God damn it, it smells like shit in there. No.
The McDonald's fart van.
Yeah. Now, in this, we have an in their own words. In their own words. This is during the conversation with her husband. This is
from the phone call.
This is from the phone call, and this is what I mean. This is where they're like, it's so on the verge, but she doesn't say it. It's one of those. So, in their own words, quote, This whole mess is because I didn't have a thick skin, because I couldn't ask anyone for help, because I couldn't stand the embarrassment. It all seems to be out of my hands, like I really don't have any choices. I didn't have any choices then. I've got no choices now.
No, it's because this mess is all because you ride cock. That's
too much. Yeah. Too much.
Stop.
I don't care about the cock riding. Just get an IUD. Right. Do something to stop that from happening. Say, hey, put that condom on before you. I don't give a shit about the cock ride. Ride all the cock you want. Right. It's just like the guys. Go out and get every girl you want if you're not married and you have 5 kids at home. Go out, find all the girls you want. Don't get them pregnant, please. That's all we ask. Don't get pregnant with kids you're not going to take care of. Is that fair? Is that a fair state? Can we just make that a policy across the board? Stop getting pregnant with kids you have no plans of taking care of. None. If you plan on it, so we'll give you a break. So yeah, that's her. That's what I mean. How close is that?
To so close.
That's they're like, oh God damn it!
Say it.
Say it. Say I shouldn't have thrown her off the bridge. Right. Say something. Just do it.
I shouldn't have smothered her with my purse.
Damn it! Smothered her
with
my
purse. That's all she had, I imagine.
Put it down.
Climbing down the fire escape with a purse over one arm and a baby in the other.
That's nuts. That's athletic, too, to be able to climb down a fire escape 2 days after childbirth with one arm while you're holding the baby.
Not near as athletic. Well, maybe it's not as athletic because that game isn't that athletic.
No. It will cause you to go into labor, though.
And pregnancy is probably helpful in that sport because it helps you be a little more buoyant.
That's true. A little more buoyant. It probably helps the cramps, maybe, the leg movement. I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
It's the equivalent of steroids in baseball.
It is. No. And this is just suspicious as shit. And it's just her mother. Her mother wants her to admit it.
Yeah, but this is also the first time that she's been on a phone call where she's obviously filled with regret, and she's talking to another woman. You know what I mean?
Well, and she's not. This is the mother. Is like the mother wants to know. You can tell. Like the mother's like, so you're telling me this, really? Like, but. Check this out. Okay. This is a conversation from 2004. Sandra is her mother. Mm-hmm. Sandra says, quote, you told me this young man has taken the baby to raise it, which is really unusual. You must admit yourself. What was his family behind him in this?
God, they're so beautiful.
And Keli just says, yep. That's her, which the Australians, they always say yep, which is weird. Y-E-P. Yeah. Yep. So yip is her answer.
Read what Mom said again, and read how eloquent and beautiful that is. She's asking her, "Did you kill a child, or did this kid go somewhere?" It's so beautiful.
You told me this young guy has taken this baby to raise it, which is really unusual. You must admit yourself. Was his family behind him in this?
Is usual. It's very unusual. You must admit yourself.
You must admit yourself.
That's beautiful.
It's very listen.
It's so proper.
And she keeps up with it. She says, "Quote." I've been trying to sort of reason things out because it's really unusual. So when you left the hospital, he took the child home with him? And Kelly says, on that day, yep. And Sandra says, to his family, I assume. And Kelly says, yep. That's her answer to that. So Sandra says, because it's just so unlike a young bloke to want to raise a child.
So beautiful.
It's just that's the thing I can't get a grip on. But obviously that's what the young man did, isn't it? That's what you agreed, isn't it? And Kelly says, yeah, well, I really didn't have too many options.
I wish you would have just said yep.
Yep. And she just says, yeah, well, I didn't. Yeah, yep. Well, I didn't really have too many options. And Sandra says, this is the mic drop. She says, you could have put the child up for adoption. And there is silence on the other end. Fucking mic drop.
Done that, Mom. Been there.
Why didn't she put this fucking baby up for adoption? Yeah. What was she thinking? Why wouldn't she just do that? I can't fathom. She's done it before. Yeah. So why couldn't she just say, yes, take this one too, and then went out the fire escape?
The why is always so hard to find. Yeah.
Why? What are you doing? It makes no goddamn sense.
But I'm telling you, also Dad being a police officer, I feel like he wrote those questions for Mom.
Yeah, well, it's almost like he's
like, it's so unusual. It's so unusual.
It feels like it rubs off on the mother where she knows how to question somebody, but she's questioning. That's a homicide detective in a motherly way. Yeah. It's just so unusual that a bloke normally wouldn't do that, but that's what you agreed on, right? Right? Like, just go ahead and lie to my face.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, well, yip. So everyone's going to be saying yip.
The way they talk.
2005 now, this investigation it's really picking up steam now. Where the hell is this? They can't find the kid. They're looking all over the country for this kid, trying to find him to say, okay, there's the kid. You didn't kill him.
Right.
Close this case. Because this is from a social worker in 99 going up to the police. This is 2005. They're still doing this.
I mean, look at it, though, from a police officer standpoint. Hey, you know that she went to a wedding at 3 o'clock. And she left 4
o'clock.
And she left the hospital at 10:30. So you've got how many hour window is that?
That's a 4.5 hour window. Or she got to the parents at 3, so you got a 4.5 hour window.
You've got as big of a 2.5 hour radius from the hospital. That's it.
And she's driving for about 45 minutes of that to her parents' house. So that's how long. So there's not a lot of time. Where could it be? That's
it's
the
close
thing.
By.
So they talked to Dunkin' Jilly's in 2005 about this whole thing.
Great restaurant name.
It is Dunkin' Jilly's. It does sound like a good restaurant. Come on by Dunkin' Jilly's for a bottomless fry basket. So Jilly's is asked about everything at this point. He's in court. They're having hearings trying to figure this out. So he goes in to do like a deposition kind of deal. He's
give a statement.
He'd make a statement, but it's like on the record.
Yeah.
It's like a deposition or a grand jury or whatever.
Oh, Jesus, it's for real.
I don't know what the American equivalent of to be what they're doing, but it's a hearing of some kind.
Okay.
He's asked about everything and says that he had no idea she was ever pregnant. And this is when it gets really weird and detailed here. He said that, quote, if she had got pregnant, I would have jumped at the chance to start a family.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to marry her. Like, she had one that would have been like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then she could have got married and her father would have been a little less pissed off and everything would have been better. But she was
Duncan, it wasn't yours, bro. That's
the other
part.
Thing. It wasn't yours. That's the thing that's crazy. So they asked him if he had noticed her pregnancies at all. Like, how did you not notice? Like, maybe during sex, they asked?
Right.
Did you see her naked? And he said he hadn't a clue. He said, quote, about noticing this, he said, you know what? We're going to do it in their own words because this is the dumbest fucking thing ever. This is so dumb that it's complicit in this whole thing. Okay. And I'm going to do it in their own words for this fucking idiot, too. I'm sure he's been hitting the head a lot in rugby, put it that way. He says, in their own dipshit words, quote, I understand how it looks. It seems ridiculous coming from my mouth, but it just seems common sense that I would pick up on her having a baby. I had no comprehension whatsoever that she had 2 babies in the years that we were together.
Wow.
You dumb son of a bitch.
That's a man that loves doggy.
That's what it is.
Actually,
it has to be, right?
I know details about their sex life or why.
Awesome.
This is wow. We got deep on this
it's
one.
It's a guy that got a lot of blowjobs and a lot of doggy, because otherwise you're going to know.
You want to know details of an athlete's sex life, of an athlete baby murderer sex life? I have them. God damn it. Patreon.com/crime and sports. So basically he said they were questioning like sexually, and he said the only difference that he could think of, and he didn't even think of it at the time, he just thought it was a weird thing, but is that they used to have sex missionary position mainly.
Yeah.
And once, I guess, in the times where she said he now knows she was pregnant, I don't know how do you say that, they switched to a spooning position. So like from behind her with her in front. So,
on her side.
On her side. So I guess the belly isn't right there.
Right.
I don't know. But still, wouldn't you wrap your arm? I don't know how you would not notice that.
A pregnant woman naked is pretty fucking obvious.
Well, you can tell, but I don't know if she did. She carried really lightly, or I don't know what it is, or this guy's just the dumbest son of a bitch ever. That's why he gets.
Or maybe he's just a gentleman and he just doesn't want to be that guy that asks her if she's pregnant and she's not.
I guess, but Jesus, at some point you'd be like, "What? Your stomach's rock hard." Is the thing that I'm really tripping out about
and
here.
And what the fuck is that foot-shaped thing sticking out all the time?
And why is there milk coming from your nipples? That's another issue.
Why are you
that we
constantly flowing?
Why are you lactating? What's going on here?
This is so weird.
We have to talk here.
In 9 months, you haven't had a period. This is so weird.
So strange. A box of tampons, dust on it. Dust on it. Milk shooting out and dusty tampons. We got a problem here, honey. We got a problem. Wow.
That's an oblivious man that doesn't pay attention.
He doesn't pay attention.
That's
no,
what
that's what I mean. He's out doing his thing, and he's like, I don't know, I was playing rugby. I came home, and she lays down on her side. I give it to her from the back, and I go to sleep. What do I know? Like, that's what he's an idiot.
She's so agreeable with sex. She just rolls over, and I do it, and I go to sleep.
That's it.
Don't notice the dusty.
God damn. He tells the court that he regular saw her naked. Sex life was, they had sex regular, like they didn't stop having sex very often, like it was just once in a while.
Yeah.
Normal sex life.
Complicit as fuck.
Yeah. Now Lisa Arrieta, the woman who moved to England, who apparently knew Andrew Namoris,
right.
Lisa is finally talked to. They finally get a hold of Lisa in 2005. They bring her on down to have a little chit-chat in the courtroom. And she says, I don't remember anyone named Andrew Namoris or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She said, maybe I just forgot because it was, 10 years ago. But I don't remember that name ever. So there's one of her alibis out there.
Boom.
Now, police have, through this whole thing, they have one of the biggest manhunts in the history of Australia, looking for Tegan. And also looking for Andrew Namoris.
Yeah.
They want to find him because they got to find somebody. One of the two would be fine. Just figure it out. So they use DNA testing. I mean, they're going all in.
Yeah.
They're going around anybody who's close. They're trying to find it. 2005 of June, there's a coronial inquest into the disappearance of Tegan, which basically means all hands on deck, government. The court wants to know what the fuck happened to this kid, so find out.
Yes.
That's what that means. Find out, bring us back the information. That's from what I gathered. I'm not an expert on the Australian legal system. I looked it up. That's what I got.
Gotcha.
If it's not right, go fuck yourself. Sorry. So, June 17th, 2005, police think they've found Tegan in Queensland.
Okay.
So this is hope.
Like Gold
Maybe
Coast,
she's not dead.
like in a nice area?
They think they found her.
Okay.
They find a girl named Tegan Chapman.
Okay.
She's the right age. And her birth certificate has her father listed as Alan Norris, which is super close.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, shit, this might be
This is either a ridiculous, convenient, I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Coincidence.
Coincidence.
This is either
Boom.
Brilliant
you nailed
coincidence.
It. Yeah.
Yes. Or I'm like, what's a C word that means the same?
Or this just fucking is a wild goose chase.
I mean, but Tegan, same age, Alan Norris, they're like, this is good. It's actually like in the papers, like, we may have found Tegan.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And Kelly must have been like, really?
What?
Huh? No shit.
Crazy.
Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, there she is.
That's the equivalent of finding that Zenaida Gonzalez.
Oh, I found her. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So they end up doing DNA testing, and obviously it's not Tegan. They reveal it's not Tegan, so Kelly must have been like, I don't know. Just been like, this would be amazing if that works out for me. So in the search for murderous, they search high and low. They search birth records, official name changes, voter rolls, receipts for utilities, immigration, police records, driver's licenses, anything that would possibly leave a trail of a human in paper. They search for him. They find zip, zero. They search over 9,000 schools for Tegan. Zero.
Nothing.
They find the closest thing they found was the girl that they DNA tested. Finally, in 2006, the coroner declares that he is, quote, comfortably satisfied that Tegan Lane is in fact deceased. Yeesh. The coroner basically declares her dead. Although he says there's a possibility she's alive, he doesn't know because there's no body. But if she is alive, she's certainly not in Australia because either that or she's being hidden in a spider hole somewhere. They don't know.
In some sex trade or something. And she's either in a terrible life or she's dead.
Yeah, one of the two, but she's not like living with a family going to elementary school, coloring. That's not what's going on. They also decide that murderous does not fucking exist. They said, this guy does not exist. We searched high and low. We searched for his mother that you told us about. We searched for Mel, the girlfriend. Right. None of these people exist. You're full of shit. Yeah. So obviously the police have no evidence. They have no physical evidence. They have no evidence other than she left the hospital with a baby and she showed up a few hours later with no baby. Gotcha. That's the only evidence they have. So they don't know what to do, basically. So they decide not to charge Keli at the moment because how are they going to charge her? Right. Really? I mean, what's the case?
It's been done in America where they charge somebody and they convict them with no body. But
it's true.
This is a bit different because in those cases, a lot of times, most of the time, they're adults. And when there's no body and there's no paper trail of that person spending any money or surviving anywhere, pretty evident they're dead.
Yeah. Well, that's a kid too. I guess you need tons of records with kids. Kids are on the grid.
Yeah,
they're
on the tracked grid as like crazy.
Yeah, even their vaccinations, everything is kept track of. My kids, good God, there's folders thick with paperwork of these kids. It's ridiculous. But they do refer the matter. They don't just drop it though. They basically say, we don't want it on our hands anymore. We're going to pass this along to the director of public prosecutions, a guy named Nicholas Cowdery. Okay. Now from what I looked up, once again, I am not an Australian legal expert. In case you thought I was, I'm not an Australian legal expert. From what I understand here, they basically will oversee cases. They'll give them cases, and they're kind of like a cold case kind of a deal, it seems like, but not really. But they'll get these cases, and then they will decide what to do with them. Okay. Basically, it's on them whether to prosecute cases. It's kind of like the stalled case docket. They're like, just throw it over there, and then they decide whether it's worthy of any given.
But he's on the payroll of the government.
He's a government. Yeah, this is the director of the public prosecutions.
I really like those ragtag groups of guys that they put together for like TV shows that investigate cold case shit. Those guys are awesome.
That's kind of like this guy's like the lawyer version of that, where he's looking into these things,
and he's paid by the government.
He's deciding.
So that's fun.
So now at this point, good God, think about this already. You know, where she started. Think about the kid in high school. Yeah, she went out with that kid. Other guys had abortions. That's fine. There's been babies adopted. Duncan's been lied to. God knows these other guys didn't even know they had a kid.
Fuck Duncan.
But I mean, these guys didn't even know.
He's a dipshit.
The other guys who impregnated her didn't even know. She never told anybody. Their parents are, I mean, as shitty as they are, they're still in the dark and they think their daughter's doing fine. Yeah. What about these polo teams, the girls, the schools that she went to are embarrassed?
The teams that lost to her when she was pregnant.
Teams have lost. She's lied to everybody. There's a baby probably dead. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel bad for all these people, but good God, not nearly as bad as I feel for Keli Lane, a registered nurse at the UNC Healthcare Center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Keli Lane, a business account executive at Comcast in Miami, Florida.
The cable company.
Keli Lane, a fitness instructor in the greater Los Angeles area.
Wow.
Keli Lane Fitness. Don't Google that. Yeah. She'll be out. Keli Lane, a realtor sales associate at Susie Reed and Company in Biloxi, Mississippi. I always feel bad for someone when it's like a realtor because people will Google a realtor and they're going to find that she's a fucking baby murderer. So she's not.
She's
Guys,
not. Buy a
if
house
you live
from
in
this
Biloxi,
lady in
Mississippi,
Biloxi.
call Keli Lane up and buy a house from her. She's really been suffering. I guarantee you she has lost business over this. And finally, Keli Lane, an account manager at Advanced Label Works, Inc., also known as ALI, in Knoxville, Tennessee. She went to Ozark Technical College. Oh. Now, listen.
Poor thing.
Let me tell you something. See what happened here? She didn't sell any kids.
No.
She didn't do anything. She didn't kill anybody, sell off any kids. She went to a college with the fucking word Ozark in it, and she turned out fine.
And technical.
And she turned out well. I saw her picture. She's smiling on there. Give me a goddamn break. you could have done better, Keli Lane, because this Keli Lane did better with way less. She didn't have rich parents. She went to Ozark Technical College, which sounds like a goddamn joke. That sounds like a made-up college. Where'd you go? Ozark Technical College, you dumb son of a bitch?
She doesn't even say that. She just says Ozark Tech.
Ozark Tech. But that's what you would like a made-up college. Like if someone at your job did something stupid, you'd be like, would you go to Ozark Technical School, you fucking moron? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's the dumbest thing. Sorry. Ridiculous.
I want to see somebody on Monday Night Football when they do the
Ozark Tech.
Ozark Tech.
Ozark Tech. Offensive tackle. Unreal, man.
Sounds so shitty.
It's so bad. So now November 17th, 2009, the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions, charges Keli with murder.
Whoa.
They decide to charge her. They say, well, let's give it a ring. Yeah. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Yeah. So they charge her with murder. She pleads not guilty because she's insisting that she pleads not guilty, that she's not guilty.
Yeah.
The trial begins on August 9th, 2010. Trial begins. She was out on bail during that time. So, I mean, she's out on bail, and then she comes into court, and she has to, like, go in the little holding area and sit there. And she's waiting and just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then she gets a knock on the door. She thinks it's a bailiff or something, and the door opens, and it's Dexter Manley, interior decorator from New York City.
Guy's great.
And he says, how is it you came to arrive here? Girl, what's wrong with you? Look at you. Your hair's up. Let me fix you up a little bit. Girl, come on, your makeup's... Look at you, it's all running, girl. You've been crying. You've been crying. Let's fix you up. Let's fix you up. Your outfit. Look at you all wrinkled up. Let's get your outfit right. Let's get you feeling good. Let's get a little makeover, and you're going to feel good, all right, girl? You get out there. I don't care whether you killed your baby or not. That's none of my business. That's all I'm saying. It's none of my business. I'm just here to make you feel better, honey. And then poof.
Oh, Jesus.
In a cloud of glitter, he's gone. Dexter Manley, he's out of there. And Keli she feels better, though. She goes into court, and they go, wow, she's looking better. She's looking very refreshed. Her makeup was touched up.
Maybe
she felt
it's
good.
Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Dexter Manley. You never know. So her father at this point, the Moose. So ridiculous.
And I love it.
The Moose here is a constant presence in court. He accompanies Keli, arm around her, holding her hand half the time, leading her up to court. He comes with her back. He's like, I don't know what it is, like he's standing guard over her, like, nobody say anything bad about my family. I'm here to hear it, goddammit. It's ridiculous. He puts up the $30,000 bail.
Yeah.
And he says, if I didn't believe my daughter, I wouldn't have put up $30,000 bail. She's innocent, goddammit.
Okay.
He says, quote, I believe the version Keli has given, and I'm not certain of the identity of any of the other people involved. He's like, it could have been anybody. I don't know. I know she's not lying.
Okay.
So my family will look worse if she fucked up, basically.
Don't embarrass me.
Yes. So at the trial, the prosecution puts a list together of 95 lies that she told.
Wow.
Between the years of 1996, the birth of Tegan, and 1999 with the social worker.
In 3 years, they got almost 100 lies.
5 lies.
Wow.
And they go over them. They're like, let's go, because they don't have evidence, like a physical evidence. So like, let's tell you about this person and how she lies about everything, especially about kids.
The prosecution treated her like she was their husband.
Yes. Let me tell you what you did wrong here.
Listen to this.
So,
remember when you said I didn't look fat in that dress?
Look at this picture. I clearly look terrible.
I was huge.
I look awful. So she lied to doctors, emergency staff, adoption staff, all of these lies that she said, made up false addresses, occupation, made up different parents' names, different addresses for them. She just made everything up when she went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like she'd just say, no, I'm a social worker, or I work at the grocery store, and my parents live in Perth. Just lying, giving false names, everything. They tell the jury of all of her pregnancies. They tell her about the whole history of everything to, kind of just get a pattern of this was a girl who clearly pregnancy wasn't going to be, a kid wasn't really cool with her lifestyle.
Yeah.
She wanted to party, she wanted to go to the Olympics, and she wanted to do her thing and be a high-profile person, and that did not include having a small child.
If I know Australia like I think I do, I'll bet they treated it like a drinking game. Every time I say child, you drink.
You drink.
Every time she had a baby, you drink.
You drink.
Baby or abortion,
or
you
lie.
take a shot.
Every time she lied to an adoption agency worker, you drink. So Lane's attorneys put up no defense.
Really?
They don't put up any defense witnesses whatsoever. I mean, they cross-examine people, but they don't put up any defense witnesses saying there's no case to answer. That's the strategy they're going with. Rather than fight the thing, their strategy is going, we don't even have anything to answer for. We don't know what they're talking
about. There's no body. We don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So we're not participating, basically.
This is ridiculous.
That's not a good legal strategy, I would say. The whole case was that the prosecution had no body, no theory on the killing, no physical evidence. Whatever. What are we going to do? It's ballsy. The trial lasts 4 months. This is like Australian female OJ, man. This is a 4-month trial.
That's how long it went with Casey Anthony, too.
Yeah, 4 months.
It went forever.
That's a long trial. That's some American shit right there. That's some tabloid American shit.
Yeah.
I'll give the Australians that. They do their tabloid shit well. So
they're getting TV ratings out of this shit.
Yeah. The prosecution between the two prosecutors gave 6 days of closing arguments.
Oh,
can you imagine sitting there in court and just hearing about what a piece of shit you are for 6 straight fucking days? 6 straight days about how awful you are, the terrible things you've done, every lie you told in a 3-year period to everyone you met. That's got to be awful. I don't know how you can just jump out the court window at that point.
That's a 6-year argument. That's all that is. That's a 6-year argument with your wife. That's what would happen if you cheated on your wife. You're going to deal with that for 6 days.
Yeah, 6 days.
You're going to listen to that, and every lie you ever told that she caught you in, that she knows that you were with that other woman.
From like 8 to 5 every day, like it's at work. They punch out for lunch, and then they come back and berate you more. I have to get a sandwich, but I'll be back.
I'm going to Chipotle. You want anything? Get it yourself.
Clunk, clunk in the time clock. So they tell the jury, this is crazy, in the closing arguments, they give a theory for the crime based on the way to the house and everything like that.
Yeah.
Their theory is that Keli, I think this is silly. This is one of those things that's an inflammatory theory, but it's as good a theory as anything else, but it sounds like the worst possible thing because it's symbolic. They say that she probably killed and disposed of the baby at the Olympic site they were building. They think that because it passed it on the way, they think that she stopped there, killed the baby, dumped it in the work site.
Oh, no.
So, and because then they can connect the Olympic because she wanted it. That's what they were trying to do, trying to make sure that you got the idea that she was concerned about the Olympics and that was like symbolic or something.
I still don't want that to be the case.
I really don't either.
Okay, good.
That's what they don't know.
Jimmie Hoffa style. That's so bad.
So they don't know, but that's their theory to the jury. They're trying to give the jury, I feel like, just a picture of what it could have possibly been.
Yeah.
Like, here's her doing it. Here's a scenario that you could imagine in your mind. The jury, starting on December 6th, 2010, deliberates for a week. Starting that day, and on December 13th, 2010, it is jury day.
Okay.
Jury finds Lane guilty of lying under oath in relation to the documents dealing with her other 2 adoptions because she falsified a bunch of documents, so they charged her with that too. They find her guilty of that. They cannot come to a unanimous decision on the murder charge. Okay, so the Judge Wheely, and apparently this is something you can do over there, the judge gives the jury the option of returning a majority decision. I guess then the jury can say either no, we don't want to do that, or okay, fine, we'll just go with the majority decision and call that a decision. I don't think that's something the jury should be left up to them. It should probably be left up to the judge or something like that, but they return it to the jury. They put more power in the jury's hands over there. Over here, the judge is very powerful when it comes to everything. Over there, it seems like the jury has more power, or at least in this case they did.
Here's the thing. You put the judgment and the punishment and the opportunity to punish in the hands of the judge because you know why? That man studied fucking law.
That's what I mean.
Why.
Exactly.
You don't put it in the hands of some dude that gutted a fish today.
A legal mind just guides these 12 people through it. That's literally like, well, up to you guys.
That's crazy.
So they deliberate for the rest of the day, and then they come back with a majority decision.
No, God.
It's 11-1.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that.
If it was like, if
it's like 7-5, fuck that. No,
11-1. Maybe if it's 7-5, they won't agree on it. Okay, though. Maybe that's the deal. Right. But they agree on this. 11-1. Guilty of murder.
Okay.
She is denied bail until sentencing. She's wanting to stay out on bail. They say, no, you're going to jail now, honey. You, Dexter Manley's coming with you. Don't worry. She collapses when this happens. She screams out, oh, no, and collapses to the ground, and they all rush and pick her up off the ground. And she basically just had a huge scene falling on the ground. This is the first any emotion anybody's seen out of this girl. She just loses her mind. So of the ordeal, we have a quote from her mother, Sandra.
I want to know how Moose took it.
Moose just looked and said, I knew she was a loser. And then he walked out of the court, never spoke of her again. Never said, don't you mention her name in my home. So, no, I don't know if that's true. So Sandra, out of this whole thing, said, quote, I just wish she'd have been able to speak to us about it and we would have been able to help her, but she felt otherwise, and I can't answer for that. I just felt that she had this great sense for protecting the family. Gee, wonder where she got that from, you fucking asshole. Sorry, I'm not blaming you. She's an asshole, but still, you made her an asshole.
It's a product of her environment.
Yes. So March 11th, 2011, they have a hearing about her sanity just to make, because before they sentence, they got to go, are we sentencing someone who is, mentally capable of taking a sentence? So she's found sane enough to send to prison and sentence. So on April 15th, 2011, it is sentencing day. Keli comes into the court with, now she's been blonde always blonde. She comes in with her hair dyed jet black.
What?
Jet black, slick back hair, a motionless face. She comes in like I'm going to fucking battle. I'm slicking. She comes in like, a completely different. She's like the crow. Yeah. She turned into the crow all of a sudden. Like I don't know what happened, but she comes into court like this and just like, I'm ready to do it, whatever.
But that doesn't, here's the thing. When you dress up in court to try to present yourself, you go with like the soft look.
Nope.
And you're a blonde. Don't fucking dye your hair jet black.
I'm gonna do this hard because it's gonna be hard. So I got to be a hard person. Like she knew it was gonna be bad.
Did she paint her nails black too? And
I don't know that, but probably
pierce her face.
So she is sentenced to 18 years in jail. Steep. 18 years. Well, you, sir, may. You, ma'am, may. Fuck off. I had to say because we never get that. You, ma'am, may.
I don't think we've ever said it.
No, I don't think we had it with Sally McNeil when that happened. So there you go, ma'am.
There it
Fuck off. She's sentenced to 18 years, no parole for 13 years, 5 months at least. That is her minimum time. The judge says that the sentence isn't because she may do it again. They don't think she would do it again. Right. They think she's rehabilitated, actually. But because of the aggravating factors like the age of the baby and the fact that, she was the baby's mother makes it worse. Like Absolutely. You're colder if you kill your own baby than someone else's. Yeah. If someone's baby's crying on a fucking plane, if it was legal, I can't say I wouldn't snap its little neck once or twice. I'm sorry. It might happen. I could fucking probably do it morally. I'd feel bad later, but at the time, I would feel terrific and I'd sleep for an hour. And you fucking know you'd all do it too. You know you would. At that point, it's not even a baby.
If it's legal?
If it's legal. Snap its little head and move back to where. I'm not saying I want to do this, but we've all had the fantasy because it's not our baby.
Snap it and head back to 24F
That's
again.
Right. If it's your baby, you'd be like, don't snap my little baby's neck. It's the ears are popping, and you feel bad for it. I feel bad for the babies too, but you know how it is. You know what I'm saying.
You just got so mad.
This is what happens, Jimmy. I get worked up sometimes.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so the judge says about this whole thing, quote, this is the sentencing here, quote, "The life that has been taken is a baby, completely defenseless. The present case may properly be seen in every sense as a tragedy involving mother and daughter. Secondly, it is a tragedy between mother and daughter in the sense that the offender disposed of her second child, Tegan, and in doing so, tore asunder the natural relationship between mother and daughter. This fact has and will continue to haunt her throughout her life."
Wow.
Which I don't think it haunts her. That's the problem right there. He assumes she has a conscience. I love tore asunder.
It's beautiful.
Our judges need to say tore asunder. Yeah. You've torn asunder, and then sentence them. I don't give a shit about that. So April 18th, 2011, Lane files an appeal. Yeah. Keli appeals. That day, same day, a taxi driver comes forward. A guy named Chris Murphy. I think this guy's full of shit, but he's got an interesting story. He says that he picked Keli up from the hospital and drove her to her parents' house. He said that she had the baby in the car. Along the way, she had him stop where there was some bushes, and she went and put the kid in the bushes and got back in the car and left. That's what she said.
What the fuck?
He says he dropped her off, and then he returned afterwards to the site to check on the baby. And when he got there, he found a woman there that was holding the baby and caring for the baby. So he said, "Hey, you got that baby?" And she said, "I'll take care of it," and waved him off, and then he drove away. No, I got it. I found a baby. I'll take it.
I don't believe him for a second.
That's the most ridiculous story ever. Hey, you got that baby? Is that cool? Yeah, no, it's cool. I just found it in the bushes. I'll take care of it.
I just dropped the mom off, so I don't think she wants it.
I'll put a water bowl down. It'll be fine. That's what it was like. They found a chihuahua wandering around.
Wow.
So December of 2011, a book comes out, a book called Nice Girl with her picture on the front by a woman named Rachel Chin. That's released, and so that's, she's already got books about her. December 12th, 2013, her appeal is denied.
Okay.
Her attorney says afterwards that she was very distraught by the decision, which, no shit, you should be, moron. Now, August 14th, 2014, the final appeal is denied. Final appeal, as she's out. The panel, there's a panel for this, says that the defense had basically the way they were doing it was a murder or nothing. They're basically saying, we don't know what you did. We don't know shit. So they weren't trying to push toward anything smaller. They were just saying she didn't murder shit. So basically the jury, all they could do was either murder or she's innocent.
Right.
They couldn't find her innocent. They knew she did something, so they went with murder. They were like, well, you shouldn't have had that strategy. That was your own stupid fucking fault. You're an idiot. Off to jail with you. So she is eligible for parole on May 12th, 2023.
Jesus.
Till then, she'll be sitting in an Australian prison. And, oh, by the way, the 2000 Olympic water polo women's team won the gold medal.
Damn it.
In Sydney.
She blew it.
U.S. won the silver, Russia won the bronze, and she could have been a hero.
She could have been a contender.
She could have been something. She could have been.
She could have been a country's
She could have been
hero.
famous forever.
Absolutely.
She could have been going on talk shows. She could have been like on a reality show or on some stupid singing show panel judging people.
Right.
She, her and
she
her
could
gold
be
medal.
verified on Twitter as a gold medalist.
Instead, Australian prison.
You
Enjoy.
bet.
Now, the judge, I remember Judge Wheely we talked about, Judge Anthony Wheely, after he retired, he had some things to say about this, actually. He said, quote here, he said, first of all, that he was he was emotionally affected by the trial.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing with the baby, with the family, with everything. He said, quote, I wasn't, for myself, convinced that the Crown had proved its case. It wasn't my call. It was the jury's call. So my task was to try to make sure that the jury gave the woman a fair trial.
Yeah.
I don't even think she did it, though. That's Keli Lane.
He doesn't think she did it?
He doesn't know. He says, I don't think they proved their case, which they didn't prove their case. But everyone looked at her and went, yeah, there's no proof, but you definitely killed your baby.
Yeah.
You definitely just threw your baby out.
Yeah.
Sorry, you did. Like, there's
you got rid of it one way or another, and it's not alive, so go away.
I look at it this way. You have a baby and you keep the baby. It's your responsibility to make sure that baby is alive and shows up to shit. If it doesn't, then you killed it, period. There's nobody else could have done it. Unless you know of someone else that killed it, you killed the fucking baby, period. That's it. That's Keli Lane. Sorry, Australia. Sorry, water polo, rugby, and everybody else we've offended over the course of that. Women, I'm sure, anti-abortion people, you name it. This will be the most offended episode. You know what? Don't care. Because that's what it is. We told you the story, and we said what we think is funny. You don't like it, fuck off. There's plenty of shows for you to go listen to.
Sorry for you.
Sorry for you. We're going to get to shout-outs in 1 second. Before we do that, I would like to make one announcement that's really cool. You all should be listening to our other show, Small Town Murder, if you're not, by the way. Also, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie that I'm on about bad movies. But you should be listening to Small Town Murder. Check it out. We had something very cool happen this week. We found out. Now, we're always in the categories in society and culture, all these on iTunes. We were, as of yesterday, number 192 total of everything in America.
All of them.
In the U.S., out of, there's, I think, 250,000 podcasts on iTunes, we were 192.
We were ranked in the top 200.
Small Town Murder was. Not this fucking show. This is too much of a weird cult niche thing, and it'll never be that high. But Small Town Murder has a chance to really go up higher.
That's fucking incredible.
So that, first of all, is incredible because we're nobodies. And we've explained, if you've listened to our show since the beginning, we're nobodies. We're comics. We're not famous. We don't have a big media outlet. But we have nothing. We're the Jimmies. We're a couple of guys who do a podcast, and you people have taken it and ran with it. But the best thing about being 192, the best thing about it, Jimmy, you know what the best thing about it was?
I do, but you tell them.
About 3 slots underneath us.
Below.
You know what was on there?
ESPN's a little man.
First Take.
A little man named Skip Bayless.
He's not on there anymore,
but
so you can't blame him. But it's his
still
show,
his fucking
and it's
show.
still that fucking hack Stephen A. Smith. Guess what, Stephen A. Smith, you hacky motherfucker,
Eat shit.
You son of a bitch, phony bastard. I'll just take the opposite and act like a... No. Bullshit. First of all, be nicer to Max Kellerman. He's brother fucking guy got his head bashed in by James Butler. See episode 45, whatever the hell episode it was. But that's not it. God damn you, Stephen A. Smith. You're a hack, and you've taken Max Kellerman in and made him a fucking hack now. He was a real boxing analyst and a real guy. You've taken him in and made him argue about stupid shit. You know
ruined
what?
him.
Fuck you again. And guess what? Now, before, we were just talking in the darkness and no one even knew who we were. Now we're punching down. Now we're punching down at you, Stephen A. Suck a dick, motherfucker.
Right. Eat dicks.
Have it. Oh, that's beautiful. God damn it, that feels good to say. Woo. Now, with that out of the way, Thank you guys for listening so much. Also,
you guys did this for us, so
thank you guys so much.
Without that, we're punching up to somebody that doesn't care. With this, we're beating him and beating him.
Still plenty of people to talk shit about, and I'm sure we're way above that Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless show, so I'm not even saying that.
I can't imagine that's anywhere on the charts.
Skip, you're too... I'm not even going to fucking acknowledge you anymore because you're too much of a bullshit nobody at this point. Go fuck yourself, you frosty-haired douchebag.
I love this. Fame has not affected Jimmie at all.
There's no fame. I just fuck him. I've hated him since we were sitting in my living room.
Success has not influenced you at all.
No, I'm the exact same person. Exact. You think I'm going to be nice to people who are in positions that might... No, you think I go, I'd like to be on ESPN someday? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm saying what I'm saying. To be on one of those things, if you have to pretend shit that you don't believe, then I don't want to fucking be it. I'll do this and I'll talk shit for the rest of my life. It's beautiful. But if you like what you hear...
Get to say what I believe and think. That's awesome.
If you like what you hear, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following directions, following instructions. It means the world to us. Like we said... if you want to really help us out, you can get on Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. You can leave us a donation. If you want to do a one-time donation, you can go to PayPal. Our PayPal is crimeandsports@gmail.com. Also, get a hold of us on social media. Please do that. All sorts of social media at Crime and Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/crime and sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, do that thing. And Jimmie, why don't you tell us some of the fine folks that have done that this week?
Terrific people that actually have signed up to Patreon this week are Courtney Larson, Alex Covington, Rebecca Miles, Hunter Gavers, Mary Elizabeth, Caitlin Power, Cat Power, Tasha Rossi, and Sharon Frankel. Thank you guys so much for your donations. That's huge. It's amazing. Kyle Goodwin, Freddie Liljet. Fuck, I knew I was going to fuck this man's name up.
They don't mind.
Lil Jekovist.
We love you.
Do you expect me to get that right? Well, Freddie's, he's terrific.
It's no worse than Pietragallo. You're fine. True. We love you.
Lil Jekovist. Thank you. Brandon Kerrigan, Lenny Jennison, Greg Lashley, Linda Prast, Lisa Jones, Aaron McKeon, Carrie Roger, at 1408 MIA. She's new and tweeted about how much she loves us. And Carrie Kendall. Thank you all so much. But real quickly, the people that came out to the Improv last week,
name them
hanging
off,
out with Dan Cummins, Stephen Johnston and his girlfriend, Donnie Munsell, Harry Lee and his wife, and Matt Miller and Melissa Teifel. Thank you guys so much for coming out and spending some time with us. The pictures were awesome. It was so much fun.
There was more that I don't know their names, and we don't know. They weren't like Twitter people. They were just like, I listen to the show.
Right.
So
it was great to tell dick jokes and do something different with you guys. So thanks for coming out and thanks for hanging with us.
We appreciate that, and come see us more in the future. Yeah. Once again, thank you, Dan Cummins, for everything. And that's it. You want to give them your social media, Jimmie?
Yeah, at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet at me, follow me. Let's talk. Let's chat. It's fun to hear from you guys because you guys are why we do this and the vehicle that got us here. So thank you guys so much for listening.
You guys, man.
And participating because that's the fun part.
Definitely. I am at Jimmie P is funny if you want to find me, or if you want to have some fun, try to spell my last name, or just copy and paste it from the episode description. Do yourself a favor because you won't be able to spell it otherwise. That said, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You know what? We're going to keep doing it. We will. Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.